This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
The doctors at Midland Eye Care want you to know a comprehensive eye exam is the only way to protect and detect vision-related disease. It goes beyond improved vision from glasses or contact lenses. Many common eye diseases such as glaucoma, diabetic eye disease, and age-related macular degeneration often have no warning signs. A dilated eye exam is the only way to detect these diseases in their early stages. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
Let's go! Get him going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL.
I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! We're going to the Super Bowl.
It's right here.
Let's make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
A battle of 8 and 4 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and LA Chargers on M&F. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mint. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9, The Mint. WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello, and good morning. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show. It is our very first Victory Friday of the season. Detroit Lions, man, I was negative about them this week. I think that was rightfully so. They wrote the ship yesterday, back in a driver's seat for a potential playoff spot. If you take a snapshot of the standings right now, yeah, they're technically on the outside looking in, but this is just the start of the final 5 games of the season. I guess now there's only 4 left. If they can just win 3 more games the rest of the way, you feel pretty good about their odds to get themselves into the playoffs. We'll run through the teams that are ahead of them, what has to happen, is the division still alive? But let's just start right here. This win over this Dallas Cowboys team, first of all, 15 consecutive losses that the Lions follow up with a win. That's maybe what I didn't take into consideration enough this week leading up to this game. They do not lose 2 games in a row. And Dallas, I'm sorry, you had a nice run there. The Cowboys were playing great as of late. And you know what the Lions did? They said, welcome to our house. Here's 44 points for you. Jahmyr Gibbs. Look, we talk about who the best player on this team is. We talk about who the best wide receiver, who the best running back in the NFL is. We've already given Gibbs that crown. I'm willing to take it a step further, guys. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs not only is the best running back in the NFL, not only has overtaken this guy's jersey that I'm wearing, Penei Sewell, as the best player on the team, I am now under the impression, after watching last night and this season, that Jahmyr Gibbs is just the best offensive player, the best offensive weapon non-quarterback that exists in the NFL today. And I'm not trying to take away anything from the guy who plays in our division in Justin Jefferson or the guy that plays down in Cincinnati in Jamar Chase. Those guys are incredibly special as well. But man, there is a sense of Justin Jefferson's not exactly quarterback proof. He hasn't had the right quarterback in a few years, and he has struggled from it statistically. Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm not sure it matters. Good offensive line, bad offensive line, Jared Goff, Mahomes. You just give this guy the ball, and he is a walking touchdown. 47 touchdowns now in his career. That ties Barry Sanders for the most all-time for a player before turning 24 years old. 47. He gets one more the rest of the season, and he is in holds first place of that NFL record. He has his 3rd hat trick of the season yesterday against the Cowboys. And that opening drive, it felt like he was going to do something incredibly special with those 2 receptions he had. I think he made every Cowboy miss at least once with those 2 plays. Just dominance right from the beginning. Amon-Ra, maybe not the best player on the team anymore. Maybe not the best weapon the Lions have anymore, but just embodies what it means to be a Detroit Lion. There was no way you were keeping this guy off the field. Kyle, you called it. If there was a chance he was going to play, if that window was left cracked open the slightest, he was going to be out there. That's exactly what happens. We find out he's taking warm-ups. He looks healthy. And sure enough, he was. Was he prime Amon-Ra St. Brown? He slipped out of 1 or 2 routes, but still put up 90 yards, still put up 6+ receptions, and when the Lions needed to lean on him the most, came through. Jameson Williams has taken such a leap forward this season, almost as if Johnny Morton predicted at the beginning of the year. He's not a one-trick pony anymore. The route running, the precision, the on-time stuff with Jared Goff has taken not 1 but 2 leaps forward this season. He has been so much more of a well-rounded player. The offensive line, I thought, played particularly well yesterday. And if we're flipping gears, Aiden Hutchinson, maybe he doesn't show up recording a sack, but man, according to Next Gen Stats, he had 10 pressures. That's the kind of stuff that we were missing from Aiden Hutchinson, affecting the quarterback, and you could feel it yesterday, even though he didn't actually bring Dak Prescott did. Who did bring him down? El-Quadin Muhammad. 3 different times. He had disappeared for the last 2 weeks. He ends up making a huge impact on the game. The real defensive player of the year for the Lions is Jahmyr Gibbs, 2023 first-round draft class buddy in Jack Campbell, who has what should have been a safety and a forced fumble yesterday. And oh yeah, every time Dallas tries to run the ball, he is a brick wall. You do not get past 3 yards down from whatever the line of scrimmage is without running into this brick wall of a human being well on his way to his first All-Pro season. The Lions saved their season yesterday. Overreaction, underreaction, proper reaction. Kyle, what do you think?
I think they totally saved their season yesterday. Like you talked about, there's so much to dive into there based on everything you just said. But the very first thing that I want to say is the thing that you brought up with Amon-Ra St. Brown and the fact that Dan Campbell said it better than anyone. That guy embodies what it is to be a Detroit Lion, and this Lions team goes where St. Brown goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he controls everything. He has always been the guy that Dan Campbell has talked about. Like, that is who we lean on. He is the pillar stone of our franchise. You know, he was a part of that first year of Dan Campbell. He's been with them the whole way, and he just is clearly like the role model guy of this team. He is the standard, Amon-Ra St. Brown is. And yesterday he put that on full display. Like even you talked about, it wasn't like this game where St. Brown had an unreal performance, and he's had a ton of better games in his career. But to actually suit up and play when he hadn't practiced all week, when we knew if there's a chance he's going to play, he's going to play. And when they needed him most, Dallas cuts it to a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and you're getting a little bit like, oh, man, this is a little sketchy here. That's when St. Brown came up. Had that humongous play, got him down to the 10-yard line after a great Tom Kennedy kick return, and they were able to punch in a touchdown and ice the game just like that. Like, that is what Amon-Ra St. Brown does. You can lean on him so often, and they leaned on him in the most important time last night.
How about Tom Kennedy? Talk about someone that the Lions lean on and that embodies everything it means to be a Detroit Lion. This guy's been lingering around on the practice squad for 7 years through 2 different head coaches, and somehow is still finding a way when his name is called upon to make an impact on the game. He has to be the kick returner now. Like, that's not the big takeaway, but you brought it up, so we may as well hit it.
Yeah, I agree.
He has to be the kick returner.
He had 3 different kick returns that got out to the 40. I mean, like, that's awesome.
After
120 receiving yards.
After the Lions had completely struggled all season long to field any of these big-time returns, he comes through and makes a mockery of that position. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was the person to be fielding kicks the rest of the season for the Lions. I think my biggest takeaway, other than the fact that the Lions did, in fact, save their season, was Hutchinson felt all the way back yesterday. I know he's going up against a backup left tackle some of the times, but Hutchinson and the pass rush in general felt all the way back. And not only that, Jack Campbell is, I mean, I'm at a loss for words with him. The safety that should have been a safety, I feel like this is now a time to talk about that. Jack Campbell sacks Dak Prescott in the end zone. I don't even understand how this is up, like how it was up for debate, how it was up for a review. Terry McCauley comes in, the rules expert, and just essentially says, this is going to be a safety. Like, and you could survey 1,000 people that watch football every Sunday, every single one of them. There would be no discrepancy in the answer. Every single person would say, yes, it was a safety. The officials come out and overturn the call, say he's down at the 1-inch yard line, whatever. Like, I don't care what the rule book says. That's a safety. Jack Campbell doesn't get credited for it, though. Everyone saw it, though. He has become the best player on this Lions defense, in my opinion. Jack Campbell is the best player on the defense, while Hutchinson plays the more impactful position.
Right.
But what? We named it yesterday. There's 4 or 5 edge rushers that are playing better than Hutchinson this season. I don't think there's a single player in the NFL that's playing better linebacker than Jack Campbell right now.
I think that's totally fair. And those are 2 great takeaways to have from that game because obviously, I mean, Campbell, he's had a lot of good games this season. It's not like this was like his coming out game.
No.
This was just the one that highlighted what a great season he's had. To do it on a national scale, Lions Cowboys are some of the most popular teams in America right now, and they're playing on a primetime slot, so everybody's watching this game. And for him to do it in front of America like that is awesome. And I think the biggest takeaway can be Jack Campbell, but the most important takeaway is that first thing you said, is that Aiden Hutchinson had a return game. That's the most important thing for this Lions team, to actually get him back into a groove, because they've been needing that for weeks and weeks, and they're not going to go anywhere if they don't have a pass rush. And obviously, he doesn't get credited with the sacks, but on at least 2 of the 3 Muhammad sacks, Hutchinson would have got to him if Muhammad didn't. So a credit to the entire defensive line. 5 sacks from them yesterday. One of them, obviously, that Campbell one in the end zone. So really good stuff.
Well, part of it, too, is other players are winning their one-on-ones. Like, that's part of the reason that there's been such a lack of pass rush as of late, too. Hutchinson's getting double-teamed, and, again, yesterday he still found a way to impact it. But nobody else was winning their one-on-ones. Like, Muhammad had disappeared for the last 2 months. He makes a big statement. Ali McNeil had a sack yesterday as well. Just everyone. It felt like a full effort on both sides. Offensive line playing a lot better, even though they did a weird thing where they rotated who was playing left guard. I've never heard of that happening in the NFL.
It was like we were watching this game, and I was just, every time they start a new drive, I'm peeking like, okay, is it 57 or 71 coming out at left guard? They were swapping them drive for drive. It's like, that's an odd thing to do. I don't want to say that like it worked, but I mean it kind of did work. Yeah.
You and I ran into each other before the game started out at the community center, and I told you, I was like, hey, Yodi got ruled out, and we debated for like 3 minutes. What are the Lions going to do?
Yeah,
Is Tristan Colon
I was
gonna be
saying
the center?
Colon's going to be the left guard. You were like, I think Frazier's just going to start. We were both right.
We were both right. I've never seen a team do that. That was bizarre. I was getting real worried before the game started. Are we really going to have conversations that Matt Eberflus picked apart Dan Campbell's offense? Are we really going to have conversations that Jerry Jones outsmarted Brad Holmes and looks like the better GM? Nope, we don't have to do any of those things. The Lions saved their playoff odds, even though they're still below 50 right now. That's kind of the dirty little secret. They win, they semi-control their own fate. They are still banking on one team to kind of fall apart here down the stretch. And it doesn't feel like it's going to be anybody from the NFC West with the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers. I feel like their best bet is it has to be someone from their own division, whether it's the Bears or the Packers. One of those teams is just going to have to outright miss the playoffs if the Lions want to be in the dance come January. 989-837-6125. Give us your biggest takeaway from this game. Mine is the 2023 draft class. The first-round pick specifically. Put Branch and Laporta aside. And by the way, we got 5 minutes before the show started, really bad update on Brian Branch. We'll get to that in a little bit. I wanted to start positive since I was negative going into the game. But what's your biggest takeaway? Mine's is the 2023 first-round picks, Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs. They're our best players on both sides of the ball right now. I say our like I'm on the team, but come on. It's a victory Friday. Who cares? Jack Campbell's best player on defense. Well on his way to a first-team All-Pro season. I don't know if I can say the same about anybody else. Jahmyr Gibbs, not only has he passed Penei Sewell as the best player on the team, in my opinion, I think he's the best offensive weapon in the NFL. Is that too far? Give us your biggest takeaway from the Lions saving their season yesterday against the Cowboys. 989-837-6125 will take you through what has to happen for the Lions to make the playoffs when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mitt on a victory Friday for the Detroit Lions. Man, I am glad we're not playing funeral music today, because I had told you all week long, I was like, man, there's a good chance we're doing some saying goodbye to the seasons, playing the funeral music. It could have been a really sad show today.
Yeah.
Instead,
they don't lose 2 games in a row, man.
Instead, we are sitting here talking about the Lions' playoff odds. We'll keep doing that when we come back. 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses, well, they need strong tech, and that's where Iron Stack comes in. Locally owned in Midland, they keep your IT rock solid, from cybersecurity to cloud services and everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone to your business. No capes, just smarter solutions. Whether you're a small shop or growing company, Iron Stack makes sure your tech doesn't crumble under pressure. Iron Stack Technologies, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Iron Stack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Iron Stack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Something's in the water.
Dude, it's in your mouth.
I can't see it, but I feel it.
This summer, from the people who brought you floss and fluoride, gum disease, the silent bite.
Ah! Why didn't anyone warn me?
We did. At Scott Family Dental, you may not see the problem, but we can. No insurance contracts and a team that treats you like family.
So no jaws, just gentle cleanings?
Exactly. But skip your checkup and you might need a bigger toothbrush.
Scott Family Dental. Catch the problems before they bite. Book now at scottfamdental.com.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know the pervasive use of technology can lead to digital eye strain, burning or tired eyes, headaches, fatigue, loss of focus, blurred or double vision. Overexposure light from electronic devices may also increase the likelihood of developing serious eye conditions such as age-related macular degeneration. To give your eyes a rest, remember 20-20-20. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
Let's go! Get him going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL.
I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! We're going to the Super Bowl.
It's right here.
Make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
A battle of 8 and 4 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and LA Chargers on M&F. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mint. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Myth is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Myth and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Myth.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Myth.
(989-837-6125). Smiles on everyone's faces as we get through this Friday because, it's Victory Friday for the Detroit Lions. But unfortunately, their playoff odds are still below 50%. Now, we've been saying this all week. If they win 11 of their 4 of their last 5 and finish the season with 11 wins, that should be enough to get them into the postseason. All it takes is one of these 4 teams falling apart. Packers, Bears, Seahawks, Rams, and I'll throw the Niners into there as well. So it's really 5 teams. You got to play the Rams next week. Who's the most likely team to fall out of here? Like, what's the best avenue? You and I think differ on this because you're doing the math on how the Lions can still win the division. I almost think it's like, look, we just got to get in at this point. I think the best way for the Lions to get in, the most likely way, is Green Bay just kind of falls apart here during the stretch. Here's what I'm going to be rooting for, Kyle. I want the Bears to just sweep Green Bay, the Ravens to beat Green Bay. If they finish the season 2-3 and the Lions finish with 11 wins, Green Bay just misses the playoffs entirely.
Right.
And like I said, they're scheduled to close the year. They don't even have to lose to the Ravens. They could lose to the Broncos. It's Bears at home this Sunday, in Denver next week, in Chicago the following week, and then versus the Ravens, and then at the Vikings to close the season. You can convince me they go 2-3 over that stretch. It's not impossible,
right?
Even if they split with the Bears.
See, my avenue, I think, is that we actually want the Bears. You want to finish with the same record as the Bears because you actually control your destiny with them, right? If the Lions go into that Week 18 game with we beat the Bears and we're in the playoffs and they're not, that's what I'm rooting for most, is that the Bears finish 2-3 because you obviously own the tiebreaker over them and you play them. Lions don't own the tiebreaker over the Packers. Not that it matters because they have that tie on their record, so it will be impossible for them to tie, of course, unless the Lions tie with one of their opponents the last couple weeks, which would be terrible. But
they're not going to tie.
tie.
Dan Campbell would rather just go for it and lose than tie the game.
Exactly.
He's not like Matt LaFleur.
So to me, and obviously like the unrealistic, not really unrealistic, but the option that the Lions can still win the division is that both Green Bay and Chicago finish 2-3 in the final 5 games. That would put Green Bay at 10-6-1 to end the year. Bears at 11-6. Lions just have to go 11-6, a.k.a. go 3-1 the rest of the way. Win that game against Chicago, you win the division. But the Bears' schedule to me is much tougher because, one, when in your lifetime, Ben, have the Bears beat the Packers?
When have they beat them twice, for that matter?
Yeah. I mean, so they have to play them 2 times the rest of the way. They have to play in San Francisco, and then they play the Lions Week 18, the Chicago Bears schedule. Like, that is they get to play Cleveland, so sure, that can be your win. But all you need to do is Chicago to go 2-3. To me, the Bears is the team that's going to fall apart. And I know it's hard to say that because they're atop the NFC right now, and we just have continuously been like, oh, well, the Bears, they're due to lose, right, at some point. I kind of still believe that.
Well, Vegas would reflect that, too, as they are like 7th in odds to win the NFC still.
Right.
With the Lions being one of the teams in front of them. It feels like we're kind of just putting aside the chance of any of the teams from out west falling apart here, and you've got a chance to beat one of them this week against the Rams,
sure,
which suddenly you feel a little bit better about. They'll probably still be underdogs in that game. But I don't know, like they all have to play each other. The odds of one of those teams falling out, whether it be the Niners, Seahawks, or Rams, feels a little unlikely because 49ers are on the bye this week. Then they finish with the Titans and the Colts. Bears, Seahawks.
They all also have 9 wins.
Seahawks have Falcons, Colts. Somehow they all still play the Colts. Rams, Panthers, 49ers. I really like the Seahawks, but there's a world where they can finish with 3 losses.
Like I said, the Bears the Bears are the only team out of the NFC North that have 9 wins. All 3 of those teams out west are already there. So it's like then you have Green Bay and the Lions who are at 8 wins apiece. So to me, I think that it's just you can't really bank on any of those teams out west to miss the playoffs entirely.
Is there a world where the Lions do finish 11-4 or 11 with 11 wins, like we've been talking about this entire?
Yeah.
What am I saying?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Lions finish with 11 wins.
Yes.
They go 11-6, and they still miss the playoffs.
Yes. It's just all because like we said, right now they are still behind looking ahead. You know, if the Bears and Packers, if the Packers finish with 11 wins, you're not in over them. If the Bears finish with 12 wins and go 3-2 the rest of the way, you're not getting in over them. And all the teams out west just have to continue to win games. It totally can still happen.
That's the part that's a little scary.
Yeah.
But you'd start to feel better about it if you can beat the Rams. If you have to pick a game to lose the rest of the way, it's honestly the Steelers game because it's an AFC team. But that's also the game you probably feel the best about the rest of the season other than maybe the Vikings one, even though you already lost that game.
Yeah, and it's your last home game of the season as well. Yeah, like you said, if you had to pick a game to lose, you'd pick the Steelers one. Now, Aaron Rodgers is their starting quarterback. I despise the Steelers. It's your last home game. Like, that one would suck to lose. But if you had to pick one, yeah, it is that one. The Rams game next week obviously is the one that we've kind of written in as the loss. I don't know, after you watched the Lions last night, and I see a lot of people in our YouTube chat feel the same way, kind of feeling a little bit optimistic about the Rams game.
You know what the Lions did last night, though, that you and I have been calling for weeks now, but they did it for the first time yesterday? They finally shifted the identity of their offense. I don't think the identity of their offense yesterday was ground and pound. We want to establish the run before we start using the play action. They just started using the play action from the very beginning, and somehow we're 23 minutes into the show. I don't even think we've brought up Jared Goff's name once.
Goff was awesome, man.
Goff was great. He's going to kind of fly under the radar as the MVP of this game because we've got the likes of Jahmyr Gibbs having another hat trick, his 3rd of the season. We've got Amon-Ra playing on one ankle in his Isaiah Thomas Duffy. We've got Hutchinson just kind of exploding for 10 pressures. Jack Campbell just continues to have this unreal season. But Goff ends up having his 3rd game of over 300 yards yesterday. They asked him to throw the ball 34 times. Gibbs and Montgomery only had 18 carries combined. I think yesterday was the first time they kind of just said, hey, this thing's going to ride or die on Jared Goff's arm. We don't have the capabilities up front to be a ground and pound, establish the run team first. We're actually going to use the play action and use the passing to set up Jahmyr Gibbs running the ball. That was the flip that I saw that we have been asking for weeks. And I feel like now that they have officially made that flip, all of a sudden anything's back on the table for the Lions.
Absolutely. I mean, you had kind of discussed how you wanted them to become a more rely on the pass game type of team because the run game is just difficult to work against these tough run defenses. Outside of that big David Montgomery rushing touchdown.
Chef's kiss.
Which was awesome, by the way. I mean, that's just classic David Montgomery, just breaking 5 tackles and scoring. But outside of that, the Lions really didn't run the ball effectively at all yesterday.
No.
It was all through the air, and yet still the play-action game was really successful just because there's that threat of how good Jahmyr Gibbs is out of the backfield, you know? And so, like you said, that shift of let's let Jared Goff cook a little bit. Let's let him get the ball out of his hands quickly and make throws. He was. And maybe the first couple drives you felt a little bit shaky about it because there was a ton of pressure early in the game. Something clicked throughout that second quarter, and it lasted the rest of the way.
He's not going to, even when they put the game on his arm and say, Jared, you're going to have to kind of cook a little bit, it's not like he's just freestyling back there and making all these crazy plays. He's just doing the very easy thing, and sometimes quarterbacks struggle with this.
He always does that, though.
Is just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers.
Yeah.
And he fed Amon-Ra 6 times. He fed J-Mo 7 times. And the safety valve, now that Laporta's out, Jahmyr Gibbs.
It's just Gibbs, yeah.
Catch
7
the ball
catches.
and, dude, that first drive for Gibbs, the 2 receptions he had, I mean, how many guys did he just make look like a fool in that game?
He has really just become the guy that if he's one-on-one in space against anyone, it truly doesn't matter who it is. He made Deron Bland look like a fool multiple times. I mean, you get him out in space against anybody, it is an easy 10, 15-yard gain at minimum.
I think when the advanced stats come out around noon today, what do you think? 6 broken tackles? 7 missed tackles? Forced tackles missed?
I mean, it's going to be something like that.
It felt like he had 4 on the first drive Because he had the reception over the middle of the field where he just juked that guy out of his shoes. And then he had the reception on the swing route where, I don't know, he was surrounded by 6 different Cowboys and just made every single one of them miss and nearly ripped off an insane run. He ends up going for more yards through the air than he does on the grounds. Yeah, somewhat inefficient night on the ground for him. 3.6 yards per carry. It's fine. Just get him the ball in space, and he's going to find a way to make an impact on the game. What's your stance on what I said in the opening segment, that he's the best weapon in the NFL? Is that an overreaction? Because I don't know. I watch this guy play every week, and it feels like it's a coin toss on whether or not he's going to get a hat trick.
Right.
I'm at a loss for words for it. I didn't get to watch Barry Sanders, guys. And I'm aging myself a little bit there, but I know there's some people out there listening that don't remember watching Barry Sanders either. At this point, it's 30 years ago.
And we're not also comparing him to Barry Sanders. We're just talking in the current NFL.
No, I am comparing him to Barry Sanders right now. That's exactly what I mean. He tied Barry Sanders' record for the most touchdowns before turning 24 years old. And he's, God forbid another injury happens to this team, he is going to break that record. Through 45 career games, Barry Sanders was 5 yards a carry. Jahmyr Gibbs is 5.5. Like, I do want to compare him to Barry Sanders because I didn't get to watch Barry, but it feels like I'm getting to watch a different version of that right now with how special of an athlete Jahmyr Gibbs is. He is a walking touchdown. I'm ready to anoint him the best weapon in the NFL, passing Jefferson, passing Jamar Chase. I know there's going to be some pushback on that, but it doesn't matter who his quarterback is. Get him the ball. It doesn't matter how bad the offensive line is either. Just get him the ball, and he's going to make magic out of nothing.
Yeah,
I'm ready to say it.
He's nearly up to 500 receiving yards on the season as well. Like the fact that he's doing it on both, on the ground, through the air. The point that you're making about, it doesn't matter with the O-line is great because with these other guys in the NFL, like a Jamar Chase, when he has a terrible quarterback, it's just tough for him to be the best weapon in the NFL. Justin Jefferson, when he has a terrible quarterback, it's hard for him to be the best weapon in the NFL. Even a Bijan Robinson has the games where Atlanta, they're a struggling team. Sometimes he has those down games. Gibbs doesn't have that. It does not matter the defense. It doesn't matter the offense, the scheme, whatever you can put on the plate. Gibbs' talent rises to the top of all of that.
I don't really care what the stats say. I know JSN's probably going to win this thing for Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he's been unreal this season.
The stats speak for themselves in that department. If I'm just doing the eye test, man, and watching the games, who's just levitating above everybody else? It's this guy. It's Gibbs. And for the very first time, I'm willing to say Penei Sewell's maybe not the best player on this team. Because when a skill guy is this good, and it doesn't matter how good the offensive line is, and you can just give him the ball and he's a blur, at some point it has to be that guy, and I think I'm ready to say it. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll keep it rolling. Go ahead and tell us what your biggest takeaway is, because my biggest takeaway with this game is the 2023 draft class. The last great Brad Holmes draft class. Those 2 first-round picks are the 2 best players on the team now. Hutchinson plays a more impactful position at the edge. I'm not arguing that. But there's no one in the NFL playing better than Jack Campbell at his position right now. There's nobody in the NFL right now playing better than Jahmyr Gibbs at running back. Those, to me, are the best players on each side of the ball right now, and are 2 of the reasons that the Lions saved their season yesterday by kicking the crap out of the Dallas Cowboys. 44 points. Come on, man. 989-837-6125. Ben Bosscher Show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof or storm damage, the siding's looking a little tired, Bresky's got you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, this is Kurt Yeiter from Yeiter Insurance Group. When the calendar flips, we all have new goals, new adventures, and new things to protect. At Yeiter Insurance Group, your hometown auto owners insurance agency, they're here to help you enter the new year fully covered. New car, new home, or simply wanting peace of mind for your family. Yeiter's team offers one-on-one guidance to match you with the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. Call Yeiter Insurance Group or visit our website for a free coverage review. Yeiter Insurance Group, your friend in the insurance business.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top-quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
Hi, I'm Matt Smith with Matt Smith Home and Outdoors Realty. From city streets to woodland lakes, I'm here to help you find the place that truly feels like home. When you're buying and selling, you deserve someone who's in your corner, offering clear communication, honest guidance, and a modern, stress-free experience. Whether you're moving up or scaling back or finding your first home, I'm here every step of the way, from city streets to woodland lakes. Find me on Facebook at Matt Smith Home and Outdoors.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Savings around the holidays, it's what we all want. Get 25% off your first item under $50. You know what looks good with a bow atop of it? A toolbox. Save on Milwaukee and Craftsman brand toolboxes and power tools. And baby, it's cold outside, so get a Handy Heater brand Turbo 800 wall outlet space heater, just $24.99.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. Shout out to everyone in the YouTube right now. See, there's a lot of new people in there. If you're enjoying the show, if you like the way that we talk about this Lions team, hit that like and subscribe button. We're live every day. Every weekday, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock all the way until noon, talking about this Detroit Lions team and whatever else is happening in Detroit sports, Michigan State as well. Pistons game tonight, but today's a Victory Friday, man. We're talking about the Lions this entire show. Let's go to the message line here for a minute because I threw out the Jahmyr Gibbs, Barry Sanders comparison. I think it's fair to compare those guys. Like, if you don't want me to compare them, I'd argue they have the same amount of touchdowns through their first three seasons. Gibbs has a better yards per carry right now than Barry Sanders did the first 45 games of their career. Like, they are comparable players, and they also play for the same franchise. But Tom from Saginaw says Gibbs is not comparable to Barry from a true running back perspective. Barry played behind a really bad offensive line for most of his career and was an absolute freak at the position. He also never had a good quarterback. Most years, Barry was the only threat. Yeah, Gibbs benefits from having more players around him on offense, but I wouldn't call this offensive line great by any stretch of the imagination. He is turning nothing into something on a consistent basis. Even, some of the most impressive Jahmyr Gibbs plays are the plays where he gains 3 or 4 yards, and he should have been tackled behind the line of scrimmage because the interior gets blown up so fast.
Right.
That's the most impressive stuff for me. And, people always tell me, and you go back and watch the highlights, Barry Sanders can make you miss in a phone booth. Okay, you won't even miss with Gibbs, though, because you won't even have a chance. He gets away from you so fast. And once he gets into open space, you're lucky to even have an opportunity to get your hands on him or get near him for that matter. I feel like I'm blessed to watch this dude every week. That's the point I've got to with him. I don't know if there's a more valuable weapon in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous last night. And it's been ridiculous all season. That's the part. But it's just when you do it in these games, these types of situations, back against the wall for the Lions, they need to find a win in this game. They're coming off of a loss. It's on primetime TV against the Cowboys, who are red hot. Like, all the factors thrown into it. And Gibbs just once again shows that he is top of the NFL. That's what adds into this.
I know Jonathan Taylor's been fantastic this year.
Yeah.
But if you're going to tell me, hey, somebody this week is going to score a hat trick, somebody's getting in the end zone 3 times.
It's those two guys,
Gibbs.
yeah. It's Gibbs and Taylor, yeah. I think they've each done it 3 times apiece this season, so I mean.
And Gibbs was doing it last year too. He did it in the most important game, the Minnesota game, to close out the season.
What I was telling you, I mean, Gibbs just doesn't have 1 touchdown games anymore.
No.
The last time he scored 1 touchdown in a game was in October against the Bengals. Every other time he scored, and he scores in basically every game, when he does, he scores multiple times. Like, it's a continuous thing.
And then for Amon-Ra to warrior his way through this thing and get onto the football field, there was never a doubt. Like, when we saw that he was warming up pregame around 7 o'clock, someone posted a picture of him on the field. It was like, oh, yeah, he's going to play today. And I thought he was fantastic yesterday. It wasn't like a groundbreaking, earth-shattering, record-breaking type of performance from him.
But he didn't look hobbled. Yeah, he didn't look abnormal.
There was the one play where he slipped going out of his break. It was an out-breaking route going right, and he slipped out of it. That was the only play where he looks anything but 100%. So what? I'd say he looks 90% of himself.
That could have happened if he was healthy. He probably just slipped,
Luckily, they had the 1 week off. Luckily, they have another 10 days coming up. Unfortunately, even with the 10 days coming up, it sounds like Brian Branch is not going to be partaking in that contest against the Lions. We got an update about 5 minutes before the show started that this is an Achilles injury. No one wanted to say whether or not it was an Achilles tear, but anytime you're dealing with the word Achilles, you do not feel great about that. And that is not something you can rush someone back from.
No, and that was the part that obviously, like, you're celebrating the win last night. You're feeling great. But in the back, I couldn't really stop thinking about that when I was going to bed. I was kind of just refreshing my search of Brian Branch on Twitter until I fell asleep just to see if anything would come out.
They can't get out of this Dallas game without a devastating injury.
It's just, and obviously, we did a ton of stuff on Kirby yesterday. And now it feels like it doesn't feel like it.
No, they need
him back
Kirby has
more
to
than
come
ever.
back.
And that's the part that I did want to highlight. Like, yesterday, the defense finally made huge plays. They made big-time, game-changing plays yesterday.
It's because Hutchinson was getting after it. Hutchinson, 10 pressures impacted the way Dak Prescott was playing, even though he didn't have a sack. Hutchinson, I don't know if he's ever going to break the sack record. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
No.
But he's going to break the pressures record one of these years. He's in firm first place of doing it right now.
And they made the timely takeaways, which we've been discussing. That's what you're missing with Kirby Joseph. Kirby Joseph probably isn't even a top 3 defensive player on this team. But, man, if there's one single guy on the defense that can flip a game, it's Kirby Joseph. And so they needed somebody to step up and do that. I saw Noah in our YouTube chat mention it. It was pretty funny. It was just like the Houston game last year. Dan Campbell doing the halftime interview. We got to get a takeaway, man. And then they cut away from him. Boom, just like that. Derek Barnes gets one. The DJ Reed interception was basically to ice the game as well. Like, just really good stuff from the defense.
We talk about that too. Kirby Joseph being the guy who makes the big impact play, the play that changes the games. Doesn't it feel like Derek Barnes has a good amount of those in his career too? And yesterday was certainly one of them with the interception.
Yeah, you always think about the Bucs playoff game, the interception against Baker.
It feels like he's always coming up with the timely plays too. He's one of the unsung heroes of this defense.
Absolutely, he always has
as well. But I don't think anything. I mean, it cannot be understated how ridiculous of a season Jack Campbell's having. He is well on his way to a first-team All-Pro. I'm going to give a shout-out to us. We're wrong about a lot of stuff. You and I both nailed our preseason prediction. Not that Jack Campbell would have a breakout season. We openly said it. Jack Campbell was going to be an All-Pro this season. I didn't envision this, though. This is outrageous, man. He's the best linebacker in football with Fred Warner out.
Yeah, that's something that I feel confident to pull up the receipts on, like you said. I mean, with all the Anzalone stuff that was going on preseason, we kind of did a whole it sucks that this is happening, but we have Jack Campbell, and we're confident that he's going to be one of the best players on this defense. Now, did we think he was going to be the best player on this defense?
No.
Probably the lone guy that's going to make a first-team All-Pro on the defense?
Yeah.
No. Didn't expect that. And he has absolutely shattered expectations, and last night was kind of just the cherry on top of that because he's been like the rock solid, consistent guy all year on this defense.
Even going back to the Ravens game, that
Right.
remarkable play he made on Lamar Jackson on 4th and 2 in their own when they were knocking on the door to get into the end zone.
Great point.
Like, it's incredible. It goes all the way back to then of him just making plays in these primetime spots.
And it sucks that he doesn't get tagged with the safety.
Everyone knows it deep down, though. Everyone who has a vote for first team All-Pro saw that and knows it should have been a safety.
That's what I mean. Like you said, if you ask anybody who watches football, like forget the rules. Is that play a safety? Everybody loves safeties. That's my thing. Who doesn't like 2 points being added onto an NFL scoreboard?
Also, we got to change the rule book because I don't understand how, in what universe that's not a safety.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
And even if we are going off the rule book, how was there enough evidence to overturn that? I mean, Terry McAuley,
Right.
who is like probably the most notable rules official guy on broadcast in the NFL, comes on as me like, oh yeah, this is for sure a safety. Like the ball's not completely out of the end zone. Like this is definitely a safety. And then not only did they not rule it a safety, but they overturned it.
Yeah, can we just have a common sense person on the like instead of a rules analyst, let's just go to average Joe.
Yeah, it's John watching on his couch.
Yeah, this is
neutral fan John.
We're calling in John from Hoboken. We just want your perspective on this. Don't think about it too hard. What is this? And John pops on and says,
"Oh yeah,
I watch football every Sunday. How is that not a safety? Can we just have one of those guys on the broadcast?
Yeah,
it's better than Terry McAuley telling us it should be a safety just for the refs to not call it a safety.
That's the most frustrating when the former ref hops on and is like, oh yeah, this is going to be the call, and then they don't call it that.
Well, between that and then was it the very next drive where the Cowboys had the offsides where every single person jumped?
Yeah, that's right.
And they didn't call it then. We thought we had a free play. Jared Goff takes a shot down the field to J-Mo, who had another great game. And they don't call anything.
Bad game from the officials on both. Like, obviously, there was a lot of things that went against the Lions.
Ugly.
There was a good amount of stuff that went against the Cowboys, too. Like, just an overall really bad officiating game.
I am never a blame the refs guy. Like, if you lose, I mean, this happens.
I hate being the blame the refs guy.
This happened against Kansas City. Everyone was so upset.
Philly. Remember at the end of the game against Philly?
Right. There's always things you can point to besides the refs as the reason you lost this game. If I get one of these every single year, 2025, 2026, you just get one blame the refs game a year. I don't think I've used mine yet in 2025. I was getting ready to throw that thing down.
You can't use it in a win, so now you can keep it in the back pocket because, like, you know, that you still won the game. But this would have been
they don't transfer over, though. I only get one per year, and if I don't use it in 25, it's not like I get two in 26. I'm glad to not use it this year.
Why does it always seem to be the Cowboys game? Because obviously 2 years ago it was the Cowboys game.
That's the most upset I've ever been with the officiating. The Cowboys game from 2 years ago. But Dan Campbell, man, they bring their A game. The coaching staff brings their A game against this Cowboys team. 989-837-6125. Are you in agreement with me that Jack Campbell is the best player on the defense? Hutchinson plays the more impactful position, but Jack Campbell's kind of taking the crown, at least for this season. I'm not saying Hutchinson's like never going to take that crown back. He should, theoretically. They gave him enough money to where he should. But Campbell, I mean, between him and Gibbs, both of these guys being picks in the 23 class, both these guys due for extensions this offseason. You catch the postgame when Ian Rappaport hopped on and said, the number one priority for the Lions this offseason is going to be getting Jahmyr Gibbs an extension. Cool. At some point, I feel like they're going to have to, cut ties with somebody. Like somebody's not getting an extension at some point. I guess until that day happens.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly am not going to say that until it happens because they just find a way to pay everybody.
989-837-6125. We'll get to the mint messages when we come back. If you're joining the show, hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. We're here every single day of the week. All right, this is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mint.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mint.
Do we have any spray paint? Why? I need lots of paint. I'm going to paint the house.
I don't think so.
But it looks bad.
Well, you can't spray paint the house.
And then let's call Bresky Siding and Building Repair. They can do it.
Is your siding looking faded, worn out, or just in need of an update? Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your siding, roofing, and gutter needs.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitts. This month's recipient is Brain Schwartzkampf from Calvary Baptist Academy. With a 3.7 GPA, Brain is a two-sport athlete playing basketball and soccer. He owns a lawn business. He's in the choir, mock election, and wants to be a teacher for his career. Braden gained experience with Teachers for Tomorrow.
I started to teach math and tutor kids in that class who were struggling. And then for grammar, I just went around doing spell checks, and I think I taught the class 4 or 5 times. I really enjoyed being able to help the kids out and just impact their life in a way. It was a really cool experience.
Next fall, Braden will continue his academic and athletic career studying and playing basketball at Spring Harbor College. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
You've known Hard Rock for decades, but Hard Rock Bet is Michigan's newest casino app. And what you see when you sign up is actually what you get.
If you're not up money after 24 hours of playing slots, you'll get up to $1,000 back in casino bonus to play again.
Plus 200 bonus spins on Huff and More Puff. Wins paid in cash, no catch.
Hard Rock Bet Casino, now in Michigan. Roll with us. Offered by Seminole Hard Rock Digital LLC. All rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credits. Must be 21 plus and present in Michigan to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, 989-837-6125. Let's see what you guys have to say about this Lions victory. Going to the Mint messages here. Texter coming in saying, this one's going to end up like the Jordan Braun debate. People that saw Barry Sanders are never going to admit that that Jahmyr Gibbs is better. Meanwhile, this is me now, not the text. Meanwhile, everyone that didn't get to see Barry is not going to ever believe that there's somebody better than Gibbs. It's unreal. Like, I'm not trying to down, like...
I know. This is the part that I don't like about this debate, though, right now, is I'm not saying I disagree with you or that you're wrong. It's that these guys are both Lions legends. This isn't Jordan versus LeBron. The Jordan versus LeBron people hate each other. Like, we are supposed to be celebrating both of these two, you know?
Very true.
But that's a good point, though. That text is good.
The fact that we can pin their numbers up against each other and Gibbs is favored in anything, though.
Correct.
Like,
crazy.
That doesn't make him a better player or a better running back, but I do think it is like we always say this, like, who are the guys that you can guarantee are going to the Hall of Fame on the Lions right now? And for the longest time, it was Penei Sewell only.
And it still is Penei Sewell, by the way.
Penei Sewell, yeah. I'd be, at this point, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is second. Like, yeah, this guy's going to the Hall of Fame if he just keeps playing this way. Amon-Ra's probably third. Hutch is probably fourth, I guess. But, like, there's a huge cutoff of, like, it's Penei Sewell and it's Gibbs and Amon-Ra probably as well. I wouldn't project anyone else to be in the Hall of Fame right now.
Unless like Jared Goff won like 3 or 4 Super Bowls out of nowhere.
Yeah, that would do it. That would probably do it. But it's unreal what Gibbs is bringing to the table every single day. I feel like J-Mo's also being underappreciated right now through the first 51 minutes of the show, too. This guy is his game has evolved in ways like that stop and start route that he had where he sold the
20
deep
yards
ball,
downfield, too.
and he just stops on a dime, turns around, and he's ready for the ball. Like, that was timing with him and Goff. That was them being on the exact same page on where to be and when and the timing of it. Goff had already released the ball well before J-Mo had gotten into his break. He turns around and hits him right in the chest. That's the kind of stuff I love seeing from those guys. And it's not just the deep ball. It's not just the crossers. That's just a good route ran by J-Mo. Think about how far he's come in just the last couple seasons.
Well, and even like, I mean, we discussed this yesterday, like, the game plan is going to be a little bit difficult for J-Mo because without St. Brown, like, they're going to be really honed in on Jamison Williams, you know? And St. Brown plays, and J-Mo is still the star of the receiving game, you know? Still leads the way, tied for the lead in receptions, led the way in yards. Like, he was still, and he got off to a slow start, too. Like, he didn't get the ball for a while, so.
This is probably the ideal stat line for these two, right? With no Laporta in, like, it's a pretty semi-even split between those guys. Williams actually had more receptions last night, but they
Gibbs
both go for 90.
I think the 3 of them, like, that is kind of what we should be expecting now.
What, that all of them have 6+ receptions
they're
every
all
game now?
right in the mix of 6 to 8 receptions. One of them is close to 100 yards because Gibbs, like you said, without Laporta, Gibbs has become the safety blanket guy. Obviously, St. Brown always is, but
and ironically, it's while Laporta was a third down guy, it feels like Gibbs is almost the first and second down guy.
Good point.
But yeah, those guys should have 6 to 7 receptions every single day or every single game that the Lions have going forward. And then even Tesla, man, like there were some real conversations we were having leading up to the show yesterday about today's show. There were some real conversations, you know, what happens if the Lions lose this game? And I think it would have been kind of a free-for-all at Brad Holmes a little bit for the last 2 draft classes, essentially, and just the strangeness of the Isaac Tesla pick. I don't even know if we're allowed to question that pick, at least for now. We'll pin that for later, but he's got 4 touchdowns this season.
And I think that was also a, like, if St. Brown doesn't play and Tesla still doesn't get any, you know, production, then what are we doing? And St. Brown did play, and he still caught another touchdown. And he had another play where they targeted him in the end zone. He caught that ball. I mean, obviously it wasn't a catch, but that was a crazy play as well.
I don't know if he'll ever be a superstar in this league, but I can tell you this with confidence. He's always going to be a red zone threat.
Yeah, which, I mean, isn't that something at least? Like, as a rookie?
Yes.
Like, the fact that he is one of the top red zone targets on this team, 4 touchdowns is...
on 8 receptions.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously 8 receptions. You'd love for him to have more than 8 receptions on the season. But, yeah, I mean, 4 touchdowns as a rookie, day 2 pick, like... That's something, you know?
At the very minimum, he's going to be a guy that you can bring in. He has the super high catch radius or super wide catch radius. He can go up and get the jump balls.
He's got a role, you know?
He has a role carved out on this team. Is it still bizarre that they gave up or essentially used 3 third-round picks to get him?
Who cares?
A little bit. A little bit. But if J-Mo and St. Brown are going to keep playing the way that they are and Gibbs is going to be utilized in the receiving game the way that he has, I don't think it's going to matter all that much. Hey, how about Malik Cunningham getting into the game? That was weird.
Nothing better than a quarterback rocking number 80, man. I mean, that is just the best thing ever.
Is that what he's listed as, a quarterback?
Well, I mean, he was in at quarterback. He played quarterback.
He's listed as a receiver.
I was going to say, I don't know if they actually list him as that because of his number. They probably can't, but I feel like once they elevated him to the squad, it was probably one of those things that they were like, okay, we'll get you 1 touch. Like, we'll get you 1 touch in the game. I thought that was kind of funny.
Semi-useless touch.
Sure, but it was like...
went for any yards.
Why not? You know, like Dan Campbell still has that Ben Johnson-esque creativity part in his brain that he just has to scratch.
Oh, you mean like when he threw the ball to Dan Skipper?
No, that was that was Jared Goff. That was all Goff.
That was stupid is what it was.
Skipper was supposed to come in, and no one was guarding him, and Goff was like, yo, no, stay out there. I'm going to throw it to you. And that's why they got the illegal formation.
And Skipper, as Jared Goff is saying this, was probably like, no, dude, don't throw the ball over here.
Throw it to me?
No
one was guarding him.
That was like painful to watch in real time because it felt like it was happening in slow motion. It was like, wait, what's going on? Oh, they're actually going to
what just happened? That's what I'm saying. Like, Dan Campbell... He cannot resist still doing weird creative things on offense, which I love. I know some people maybe don't, but last night it was still fun.
I thought the J-Mo end around was finally going to work. I think that thing hadn't worked like 7 plays in a row. They've tried it all season.
It almost did work. Kenny Clark was right there waiting for him, and J-Mo just right past him.
And it was, of course, the most Jameson Williams act of all time to step out of bounds early when it was just so avoidable. I think he could have gotten in.
Threw the ball 500 feet in the air.
Just the most J-Mo play of all time. Rocking the shiesty under the helmet, too. He was so good yesterday, though. So I guess we'll take a win if it means he steps out of bounds a couple yards early. Let's keep this thing rocking and rolling. We are hot here on a Victory Friday. We're going to keep this thing going until noon. We've got our messages. We've got the YouTube chat. Hope you guys enjoy the show so far. Like and subscribe if you haven't. We'll take one time out and come right back with Victory Friday.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Is the air in your home dry? Are allergies bothering you? Tired of itchy skin and static everywhere? We have your answer. Answer Heating and Cooling can install a whole home humidifier that keeps your air balanced, your skin comfortable, and your family breathing easier all winter long. Say goodbye to static shocks and hello to comfort. Call Answer Heating and Cooling today or visit AnswerSOS.com. Answer Heating and Cooling, the home of simply outstanding service.
I'm Doug Cellini, financial advisor with KingsU Partners here in Midland. You've worked hard, played fair, and built a life worth protecting. Now, it's about making sure that people you love are taken care of. I help families bring every part of their financial life together so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying what really matters. Because real success isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind. Find me, Doug Cellini, at kingsu.com, Midland office, or on Facebook.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
He got him! That's 3 of them! The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
How about a big noon tip-off? Saturday, MSU hosts the Duke Blue Devils at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts at 11 a.m., presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. The high school basketball game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
We begin our winter high school sports season on Tuesday night. 2 girls varsity hoops powerhouses, the Dow Chargers and the Heritage Hawks, square off. Coverage from Heritage High School starts Tuesday night at 6:50.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back in. 10 o'clock hour is always brought to you by our friends over at Corning. Appreciate everyone watching live in the YouTube today. Appreciate everyone up here in our Great Lakes Bay region as well. Lions saved their playoff season, saved their playoff chances this beautiful Thursday night. I love the Thursday night games, by the way. The coverage, the pregame, Cade Cunningham's in there. Yesterday was the only day of the year where it was like, Cade, come on, man. Out here saying the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl.
That was crazy, by the way.
I can't believe he said that.
I mean, like, it's his, a lot of people I saw were digging at him for it. I kind of respect it. It's the loyalty to his hometown teams.
No, that's
would
fine.
It's like Devin
you
Booker.
You can't come
know?
out and say that, though. You can't
right.
say it on the broadcast in your own city, man. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
I love the Amazon pregame. I love the halftime show. I love the postgame stuff where they always get Amon-Ra or Goff. That's the two guys they had yesterday during the postgame stuff. They give you a little sneak peek of the locker room video, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's is always taking his shirt off to some extent. I also love when they're going at the guys. Richard Sherman is not afraid to go at these dudes.
Yeah.
And he called out George Pickens yesterday. This is something we failed to mention going up into the game, that George Pickens is someone you can get inside their head. Lions got inside his head. They did, because he didn't look like he wanted to be there yesterday.
Yeah,
and
multiple
penalties. Sherman certainly made that very clear, that he looked unengaged, uninterested. That deep ball he had, just a lack of effort. He had to go get it. I thought that was huge kudos to the Lions defense for getting him pretty frustrated. Not just like from a, hey, we got in his head and now he's like, not that they rage baited him, but they did such a good job of containing him and making life so difficult for him and popping him anytime he did get a catch that he just ended up being disengaged by the end of the game. And with CD going down for an injury, those two guys are both out. Cowboys lack the weapons to hang in there. So even with the Legion of Whom semi-playing yesterday and potentially playing again against the Rams, they seem to be doing a good job as long as Hutchinson's getting to the quarterback. And yesterday he was certainly impacting the quarterback.
And I think we're kind of just like tossing out credit to give to all the different guys so far today. I think one unsung guy last night that deserves some credit is definitely Avonte Maddox.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't supposed to get a lot of run in this game. Obviously, Thomas Harper goes down, I think, on the second play of the game, and defensively at least for the Lions. And immediately it was just like, oh, man, like this is already the backup safety. And Avonte Maddox comes in. He's kind of been a guy that has fluctuated positions so far this season for the Lions when he has played. And he had a great game, man. He stepped up.
It's funny, too, because when they signed him, we were like, oh, that's actually like a really good depth piece. And like he was always like the fourth safety or like just the last guy in the secondary in general on the team. But for some reason, we loved the signing.
Yeah, I think it was, he's a Detroit kid, like from Detroit. I think that's kind of part of it.
Hey, yesterday showed why.
Yeah.
Stepped in as the fourth string safety and actually played pretty good. So
they're going to need him going forward probably too.
Yeah, because
unfortunately,
there's a decent chance, guys, that Branch is just not coming back this season if it's an Achilles injury.
And I'm not going to sit here and be all confident that Kirby Joseph is coming back next week either, because I've thought that the last 6 weeks.
Well, you still think he's coming back at some point this year,
but
right?
like I'm just seeing even next week against the Rams. Like, would you be shocked if next week the starting safeties are Avonte Maddox and blank? Because Thomas Harper got hurt yesterday too,
No, I wouldn't be shocked, but the 10 weeks or the 10 days rest, that the
Good
mini
point.
bye week here,
True.
And the fact that
So
Joseph
huge,
started
dude. That's so
practicing last
clutch.
week, yeah, they're going to be on the rest advantage against the Rams next Sunday. Because the Rams, who do they have this week? They've got Arizona, so they should take care of business there. But Lions get the extra rest; they'll have the advantage going into it. Hopefully, they can get healthy in the secondary, but they're not getting Terrion back. I'd be absolutely shocked if Brian Branch was playing. I'd say, what, Kirby Joseph 50-50?
That might be generous.
Yeah, I was going to say that might be
40-60
generous.
probably.
DJ Reed, okay game yesterday. The interception he had to seal it was really good.
Yeah, totally.
Amik Robertson continues to struggle a little bit. It felt like CD was cooking him in a lot of ways. But I have confidence he's going to get himself back
he also
into
made
this.
some big, like he had the play that the PBU that resulted in the Barnes interception. Like he made timely plays that made up for his, lackluster plays.
Where Brad Holmes was right and where Brad Holmes was wrong, I think it starts with the 2023 draft class. Just all four of those top four picks. It's ludicrous. But the first two guys specifically, Campbell and Gibbs, I think they've emerged as the two best players on each side of the ball. Campbell on defense, Gibbs on offense. That's where Brad Holmes was right. Is the jury in or out on whether or not he was right to use 3 third-round picks on Isaac Tisla? Because he catches another touchdown yesterday. It ended up mattering in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people were upset with just the lack of production. Usually rookie wide receivers can come in and make a pretty big splash. He wasn't able to do that. They extended JMO a couple months later. So it all just seemed kind of weird. But when you look at his season stats, and he's got 4 touchdowns on the year, and he's carved out a role for himself as a red zone threat here. Is it too early to say that he was right about this one?
I mean, my whole thing is like the people that are upset about the Isaac Tisla pick in the 3rd round. Are you upset about them taking a wide receiver that hasn't gotten a ton of run, or are you upset about the fact that they traded up? Because let me name you the other wide receivers taken in round 3 of this year's NFL draft. Kyle Williams, Pat Bryant, Jalen Noel, Savion Williams. None of these guys have gotten big run, you know?
No.
Like it's not like Isaac Tesla is the only guy, and there's been other receivers that have gone crazy in the third round. Even the second round wide receivers haven't done great. Like, so is it just the fact that they traded up? Because if that's the case, then sure, you have a little bit of a point. But I don't know. He's been more productive than, honestly, all the guys taken in the second round as well, touchdown-wise.
Yeah.
Can I go back to your point about the 2023 draft class, though?
Sure.
Because I think it's just so, not ironic, but it's just awesome because when that draft class happened, it was very clear right away that Sam Laporta and Brian Branch were the absolute best picks of the draft. Both taken in the second round. Like, yeah, we talk about the big four, the fantastic four of that draft class for the Lions. But remember how we thought about the first two picks?
How can I forget?
Not we, and when I say we, I mean the whole city of Detroit, the whole realm of Lions fans. Everybody knew Laporta and Branch were home run hitters. Jahmyr Gibbs didn't really get a ton of work until like halfway through his rookie season.
It was that Monday night game against the Raiders where he finally broke out.
And boy, Jack Campbell didn't get off to a hot start either.
No.
Like the fact that this has been flipped, and Jack Campbell, at least for the longest time, even coming into this season, was always viewed as the fourth guy out in that big four, right? It was always basically like, oh yeah, Gibbs, Branch, and Laporta have been awesome from that draft class. Oh yeah, Jack Campbell's been great too. Like he was
he's the
kind
best
of the fourth
player on
guy
defense
out.
now.
The fact that now we're looking back at it, and those two guys taken in the first round just 2 drafts ago, 3 I guess you could say, have totally become the pillars of this team on both sides of the ball, at least in this specific season, which is super awesome to think about going back at it.
Yeah, there's not a lot else I have to say about Jack Campbell other than he does not really screw up. When you try to run the football, he will meet you at the most you're getting is 3 yards, it feels like, right? And he's just going to meet you, and once he gets a hand on you, it's over.
Doesn't miss tackles.
Constantly in the backfield. When they blitz him, doesn't it feel like he connects every single time, whether it's a sack or a quarterback hit? I mean, he has 5 sacks this year, Kyle.
Yeah.
That's ludicrous for an interior linebacker who's also just the best run-stuffing dude in the NFL.
I mean, I've got a fun stat for you with those 5 sacks. We're talking about comparing Jahmyr Gibbs to one of the best running backs in Lions history. The Lions PR team has gone crazy, by the way, in the last 10 hours, just putting out all these stats.
Is this a Spielman one?
Yes, the only Lions in a season with at least 110 tackles and 5 sacks. Chris Spielman in 1989, Jack Campbell in 2025.
Yeah.
Coolest part is, both Chris Spielman, Barry Sanders, they're both still heavily involved in the organization. That's awesome just to think about the culture that the Lions have.
And that was so dead for the longest time. Like, I love that Megatron's back involved with some stuff. Do you see some of the merch that they dropped with Megatron?
No, I missed that.
Oh, you might have to invest into that. That's some good stuff, too. It just feels like the Lions, after a win like that against a surging Cowboys team, it does feel like you have your mojo back. And if we're going to look at the NFL, the odds, according to Hard Rock Sportsbook, the Lions are sitting there, there's still pretty good odds on them to, if you believe in them, to do this and get it done, plus 1040 to win the NFC. That's not bad. I wouldn't recommend the division bet. I'd recommend this. I wouldn't recommend the playoffs either. I would just say, hey, man, if you're confident in the Lions, just go bet them to win the NFC at plus 1040. Or if you really want to just go all in.
Or just bet against the Bears to make the playoffs.
No, I think betting against the Packers is the move at plus 600.
Sure.
That's the incredible value play. But if you're feeling better about the Lions Super Bowl odds, I mean, they're sitting back at plus 2,000 right now in front of San Fran behind Kansas City. Like, I mean, if they have something figured out with the offensive line and Hutchinson's going to keep playing like he did yesterday, all of a sudden it feels like the window's back open, doesn't it?
I think the window's back open right now.
Yeah.
Personally.
Well, I mean, we knew that in order for the window to have to open
up,
like Hutchinson was going to have to get out of his slump and the offensive line was just going to have to be a little bit better, or they were going to have to shift their mindset into what their focus is on offense. That's what they did yesterday.
They did both of those things. Well, and I think the big part is, too, like now that they've gotten through this Cowboys game, and it's one of their better wins in a while, not like previewing the Rams game, because obviously there's a ton of times before that, but we've discussed about their big games on the schedule so far this season and the teams that they've played that you're going to have to play in the playoffs. The Rams are that kind of last team test-wise. Obviously, the Bears are still there, but that's a division game. I think is just a little bit different.
You're right.
The Rams is going to be like that last true test of like this team is for sure going to be in the playoffs, and you're going to have to run through them if you want to win it. It's exciting.
It's very exciting. 989-837-6125. Lions back. Jahmyr Gibbs, by the way, plus 1,000 to win Offensive Player of the Year after last night. Is that worth a couple bones?
That's what it was.
Is there a world?
That's what it was preseason, Ben, and it has not been that good since then. So
is there a world? Because JSN and
Probably
Taylor are
not.
kind of out of the like on another level, but at the same time, Gibbs is now one touchdown away from tying back up with Taylor. Taylor gets to play on Thursday or on Sunday, but like I don't know, another Gibbs hat trick, and I don't know why it wouldn't be possible.
Right.
Especially if the Lions are playing in a primetime spot in Week 18, which I think is very likely at this point.
And
right?
they're going to be on primetime against Minnesota.
Oh, that's right.
They
on
have
Christmas.
the Rams game next week, which is just going to be the most watched game of the week, probably.
Doesn't it feel like somebody's destined to have one of those incredible Christmas Day games? Like I always, for the rest of my life, will have the Alvin Kamara game engraved into my brain.
Christmas Eve game, yeah.
Oh, was that Christmas Eve, not Christmas?
That one was on Eve, yes.
I just remember that. I'll never forget that. Just
Fantasy Championship week, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He could have had 7
6,
too.
wasn't it?
He had 6 and he could have had 7. They gave another one to I think Mark Ingram was the other running back that year. They gave it to Ingram instead at the 1 yard line.
6 touchdowns.
It could have been 7, yeah.
And he's like kind of not doing a gritty, but kind of shuffling through the end zone, just going 1, 2, 3, and he gets all the way up to 6. You're like, this is nuts. Jahmyr Gibbs could have a performance like that, and I'm not going to be surprised. Although it's less of a one-man offense here in Detroit than it was in New Orleans, however many years ago that was. Anyway, 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. The Ben Bosscher Show, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphones to innovations that power clean energy and advanced medicine, Corning is shaping the future, but it's not just about the tech, it's also about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities that are close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Great Lakes Loons. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CAR to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the My Pros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness, now I think it's been probably 4 years ago.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
Two teams looking to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot. Houston Texans and Kansas City Chiefs. It's a rematch of the AFC divisional round from a year ago. This year, it's going to be a fight for either to make the postseason. Coverage is 7:30 Sunday night, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midlands.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mid is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mid and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, 989-837-6125. We're celebrating a Victory Friday here. Is there anything better than Victory Fridays? Is it better than a Victory Monday? Where you kind of just go into the weekend knowing you already have a win. You don't got to worry. No stresses on Sunday.
Right, you get to just enjoy NFL Sunday. I mean,
I think Victory
Monday
Friday might be the best.
It might be, but Victory Monday does set up the week really well.
Yeah.
But this is a new feeling, We haven't had a Victory Friday this season, so it's kind of awesome.
Kyle, take it away with the news.
The Mitts Morning Catch.
All right, let's get into it. A lot to discuss. We've already kind of talked about all the cool stats from the Lions game that I wanted to dive into in the news, so we don't got to touch on those. What we do got to touch on, though, is the community calendar, as always presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. We're continuing the holly jolly spirit here in the Great Lakes Bay region, and you can start the holly jolly days. That's this weekend, starting this weekend in downtown Midland. The Ugly Sweater Bar Crawl is tonight in downtown Midland. A bunch of the businesses downtown are participating in this. It starts at 7 p.m. You can purchase specialty beverages, all in your ugliest Christmas gear. You said you don't have an ugly sweater, right, Ben?
No, but I'm going to get one by next week. I'll wear one to work one of these days.
I might rock mine to work every day. I love the ugly sweater Christmas move. Okay, anyways, let's talk about some more NFL news. One of the stats we didn't say from the Lions game last night, Amon-Ra St. Brown now holds the record for most receptions through the first 5 career seasons. 511 receptions is the most by a receiver ever through their first 5 years. It was Michael Thomas who held this record. Slant boy, they used to call him. Right. Not anymore. Amon-Ra St. Brown has got that.
And I love that the slot merchant thing has just been put to bed in a way that is so hilarious, because I'm not going to tell you he's this deep threat to go long, but he gets chunk plays all the time, and yesterday was not any exception. He has these massive games, 31 or it was either 31 or 37 yards in the second half. You're getting that stuff consistently from St. Brown, even when he's playing on one leg on his Isaiah Thomas stuff.
Right, yes, on his Isaiah Thomas stuff. Okay, let's talk about some non-Lions news, because it's been all Lions so far today. Some Michigan State football news, obviously with Pat Fitzgerald coming to town. Kind of been keeping an eye on what players are going to come, what players are going to leave. How about what players are going to stay? Big news for the Spartans fans. Their redshirt freshman quarterback this year, Alessio Milivojevic, has announced that he is going to return to the Spartans next year. He's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. This is pretty big news, because he actually was a little bit of a bright spot in the last couple games of the year for the Spartans. Don't know if that means he's for sure going to be the starting quarterback next year or not, but nonetheless, it's nice to have that guy in the room. A couple of guys that are currently on the Spartans, too, were commenting on that post, talking about, let's go, he's back, stuff like that. Amari Kelly being one of them, so maybe he'll be returning, but that's good news for MSU.
Well, Aiden Chiles still hasn't technically hit the portal yet either, has he?
Correct. I'm just going to assume he's going to, right?
I'm going to assume Michigan State's done with him, even if he wants to stay. They might tell him.
They benched him. Yeah, exactly. So I would just assume he's done. But
do you think he follows Jonathan Smith? Where do you think he ends up? At a Power 4 school? Or is everyone going to be nah, I'm done?
My initial thing was has Oregon State hired their new coach yet? Okay, yes, they did. They have hired their new coach. Alabama's co-offensive coordinator is their new head coach. Because I was why does he not just go back to Oregon State? That's what I immediately thought.
No, Oregon State's not going to go backwards, though. They're not going to hire a guy who's already their coach.
But he left to go get a better job.
I know. I just don't think you do that.
Right. They can't because they hired their new head coach. So he'll probably just go be an offensive coordinator somewhere.
No, I'm talking about Aiden Childs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jonathan Smith.
No, I'm talking about. I think Childs will be a starter in the ACC or Big 12.
Yeah, absolutely. Oklahoma State. That's my prediction for Aiden Childs.
Okay.
I'm just randomly throwing a team out there. So we'll see. How about Michigan State news on the basketball side of things? Tomorrow, MSU, Duke. It's at noon. It's a number 4 v. number 7 matchup. And to my surprise, the Spartans are favored, Ben. 1.5-point favorites at home at the Breslin Center. I know they're at home, but I figured Duke would have a 2 or 3 point advantage. Not the case, though.
Well, I mean, it's impossible to get a good look off on this defense. And at home, I mean, this is just a prime position for the Spartans to, well, I wasn't going to say pull off an upset, but if they're favored, it wouldn't be an upset at all. If they can bottle up Boozer, who is, to me, through the first, month of college basketball, a little less than a month, whatever it is, he's been the best player by
he's
far.
He's averaging like 24 a game.
It's ridiculous. He's a grown man. He makes these other college people look like children. If they can bottle him up and get him frustrated, I think the sky's the limit for this team. This might be the year for the Big Ten. I know we say that a lot, but between Purdue, Michigan, and Michigan State,
that's what I was about to say.
This is ridiculous.
On Monday, we have a chance to have a conversation that like the 3 best teams in America are all in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Arizona would like a word there.
So
but
would Duke.
MSU's got to beat Duke, so we'll see how that goes. The number 3 team in the country, though, the Michigan Wolverines, who I think have proven themselves that they're already one of the best teams in the country. They start Big Ten play tomorrow against Rutgers. That's at 4. So we'll keep an eye on that as well.
And that's a team last year that got the best of Michigan one of the times that they played with Bailey and Harper. So see what happens if they can get some revenge.
Some of the biggest news of the year happened last night, Ben. LeBron James's nearly 1,300 consecutive games of scoring in double figures ends. And wow, it ended in probably the most cinematic fashion you could ever see. LeBron catches the ball with 8 points, tie game at the free throw line with 2 seconds remaining. He's got to know he has 8 points. He has to know. All these NBA guys know their stats during the games. Instead of driving to the hoop and trying to get a game-scoring bucket, he kicks it out to a wide-open Rui Hachimura in the corner, who nails the shot at the buzzer for a Lakers win, and the streak is broken.
It was beautiful. If that streak was ever going to end, and by the way, I'm pretty sure you told me like 2 days ago that streak will never end.
I think I did on the show, yeah. Crazy.
If that was ever going to end, that's the most beautiful way, poetic way for it to ever end. He passes up the shot to keep the streak alive and kicks it out for an open 3 for a buzzer beater. I mean, that's beautiful. It shows you that LeBron's the Swiss Army knife. It shows you that LeBron's just willing to make the right play. One of the best offensive players in the history of the NBA. He's just going to generate open shots with how much attention he draws. How many straight games did you say it was?
It was 12.97.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. It's actually unreal. I thought the streak would never end, personally. But like you said, for it to end this way, a beautiful way for that streak to end. He just doesn't care, man. He'd rather get to win, find his open guy. Rui Hachimura instead of LeBron, he doesn't care. That's the best part about it. Okay, speaking of NBA basketball, Pistons, Blazers, they're in action tonight at 7:30. Pistons are looking to get back into the win column after a pretty disappointing loss to the Milwaukee Bucks on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, they blew what was it, a 30-point lead?
I don't think it was quite 30, but it was probably 20.
Felt like a 30-point lead.
Yeah.
All-time collapse from the Pistons. I think they'll bounce back tonight against the Blazers, who are like this frisky, young, energized team, play a lot of defense, have a lot of length, but I feel like they catch a lot of the veteran teams off guard. I don't think you can catch the Pistons off guard. So I think the Pistons are going to take care of business.
Yeah, we sure hope so. This is the game that they have in between the Bucks games. They play the Bucks again tomorrow, right back at LCA. So a little start of a back-to-back today with the Portland Trail Blazers. No Chauncey Billups going to be in the building either, which is that's pretty tough. Red Wings last night, they were in action. I don't know if anybody was watching it, though, because the Lions were on. Hopefully you weren't watching it because, man, another shootout loss for the Wings. They lose 6-5 to the Blue Jackets.
It's been cold. They've been cold.
Yeah. Hopefully they can get back into the win column here at some point. CeeDee Lamb, we talked about him getting injured in the game last night. He did leave with a ruled concussion. That is what it's been ruled out for. Luckily, the Cowboys, just like the Lions, have an extra break before their next game. So, obviously, the concussion protocol it gets handled differently by each team as far as what stage that they're in and everything. But hopefully Lamb is able to return into their next game. But, man, Lamb was destroying. He was cooking.
Yeah. And if he would have went back in, he would have kept doing that. And from every angle they took of him on the sideline, it looked like he wanted to go back in, but he did the thing where you hit your head and the hands kind of freeze up for a second. So that's instant. Go right into protocol.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with CeeDee Lamb, another wide receiver in the NFL, Justin Jefferson. We've been talking about that bad quarterback situation there. We'll close the news out with this. He was asked about that basically, just like, hey, man, you guys are 4-8 this year. It's been a tough year production-wise for you. You've never had this few receiving yards at this point in the season. And he said, yeah, this is one of the most difficult seasons of my career. He's like, it's been hard this season for sure.
How old is he?
Jefferson, probably like 27. Feels like that's an accurate guess.
I typed in Jefferson age, and it gave me that Thomas Jefferson. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
that's good stuff.
That guy's age, everyone's wondering.
He's still only 26.
26, okay. Yeah, it's been a tough year for him, obviously. To me, he doesn't scream like an ask-out guy.
No, I think he's a Minnesota for life guy.
Yeah, he does not seem like an ask-out guy, but if there ever was a time for that, it would be right now.
Well, my counter would be it's never going to be worse than this, right?
True.
I wouldn't think so.
Is McCarthy just the quarterback next year?
Either way, you'd expect McCarthy to get a little better over the offseason, right? I don't know. He's pretty bad. All right, 989-837-6125. We'll keep this thing rolling on a Victory Friday when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live right here on 100.9 The Mid. Hey, Dow, proudly rooted right here in Midland and making an impact all around the world. Innovations that create solutions for cleaner water, safer homes, and a more sustainable future. A company built on science but driven by people with thousands of employees that call this community home. Supporting local schools, events, nonprofits, because being a good neighbor matters. From the Little League field to the lab, Dow invests in places we live, work, and play. Dow, solving with science, starting with community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. Mm-hmm. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Now is the perfect time to lock in your seats for the 2026 season with the Great Lakes Loons. With Loons Ticket Package, you choose the games that fit your schedule. Score exclusive benefits, guarantee the same seats for each game, and have the flexibility to exchange your games whenever you want. Let us book your ticket package for the 2026 season. Call the ticket office today at 989-837-BALL or visit loons.com.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Pistons are real contenders to win the Eastern Conference if they make a trade and are going to be the third 60-win team in franchise history. I think the inevitable collision between Dusty May, Tom Izzo, Michigan, and Michigan State is going to be one of the most epic clashes we see in college basketball all season long. I think if the Tigers decide to trade Tarek Skubal, I'm not going to be a fan of them anymore. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mid.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mid is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Michigan, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
It's a Victory Monday. I'm sorry, Victory Friday, but I am unfortunately delivering some bad news that we just found out during the break. Brian Branch, torn Achilles. He's going to be out for the remainder of the 2025 season. A brutal loss considering, well, even if they were all healthy, that would be a brutal loss. With everything that he brings in the run game, he's the one that recovered the fumble last night. Maybe he's not making the game-changing plays that Kirby Joseph does, but it feels like, 3-4 times a game on his best day, 5-6 times a game. He's just making a massive play that, is a third down stop. He's an amazing run defender. That is a very tough loss. And when you consider the fact that they're already down Terrion Arnold, they haven't had Kirby Joseph for 6 weeks. You don't feel good about that. You don't feel good about losing a guy who is potentially on pace for an all-pro season, now being done for the season.
Yeah, this really stinks. This is brutal, man. I mean, like you said, the fact that the Lions have been without Kirby Joseph for such an extended period of time now. Branch, obviously the game that he missed, they were able to do it without him, but he's not a guy, he's just not one of those guys you can miss extended time with, He just is, he's so crucial to this defense. I know we've done all this Jack Campbell talk today, Hutchinson talk, Kirby Joseph makes all the big plays, the cornerbacks have stepped up, but Branch is another one of those guys that is always super consistent. And that really stings to not have him the rest of the way. Obviously, an Achilles tear means good chance he misses extended period on top of this season, which hurts.
He's missing training camp for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that just really hurts.
The ACL is the thing that has miraculously become like an 8-month injury. Like Stephon Diggs not missing any time was somewhat of a miracle. But the Achilles is still you're going to be out for an extended period of time. That's just such a bad blow for the Lions. And now I'm sitting here like, okay, Kirby Joseph just has to return. I don't know what the plan was there, but he just has to come back earlier than as early as possible, I guess. If he can play against the Rams, he has to now. They need a guy to come and help make plays at the safety position, especially with Thomas Harper already, dealing with an injury too. It's going to be, if Kirby Joseph plays, him and Avonte Maddox rolling around out there, you don't have anyone to go lay the thunder. You don't have anyone to go lay the boom. Jack Campbell's kind of your guy to do that now, because how often even if a receiver caught the ball, Branch would punish them in a way that was the receiver's considering, it's getting in his head. He might not catch the next ball, and even if he does, he ain't going to try to go for extra yards after he catches the ball. That's the kind of hit that Brian Branch delivers early on in the game that just sets the tone for the rest of the game. And yeah, sometimes it comes with the penalties, but you'll live with it if it means, it gives the Lions the upper edge in terms of who's playing with a little bit more fearlessness and which team is, being the nail instead of the hammer the Lions are always the hammer when Brian Branch is on the field, and the fact that they're missing him the rest of the season, it just that hurts. This is very similar to the Cowboys game last year where you win the game, but you walk away the next day, and it's like, oh my God, like I can't believe we're going to go the rest of the year without Hutchinson.
That one hurt more, but this still.
One's, I don't know, 80% of that.
Yeah, this one is on top of everything. It's like they already have so many injuries defensively, and coming off a year where they already had so many injuries defensively, it just never ends. And oh man, now you really. We did all the Kirby Joseph discussion yesterday. Now you really need that guy to come back. You desperately need Kirby Joseph to return. Luckily, they had this little extended break, like you said, mini bye week before the Rams game. Hopefully that's enough time for him to finally be able to make his return, but there has not been any inclination that is happening based off everything he's said in the media.
Well, he practiced on Monday. That was encouraging.
I guess so. The comments to me is the worst part, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Him practicing is definitely a big step forward because he has not been practicing. But the comments in the media is what I don't
scary.
Love,
How's your knee? Messed up. What are you going to do to fix it? Trust in God.
Yeah, anytime that's the immediate response that means you're asking for something.
You're asking for a miracle.
You're pleading for something. Correct.
Yeah, no Branches is not something you want to say because the thing that makes him so valuable is he's one of the most diverse safeties in the NFL.
Right.
You think, hey, throw him anywhere. How often you see him line up in the box at the line of scrimmage? That's their blitzer. Like you don't want you don't want to utilize Kirby Joseph's skill by putting him in the box and blitzing him after the quarterback. You want him in the back, lurking, trying to hawk an interception and change the play. Branch is the guy that you can just throw on tight ends. You can throw up and have him blitz. You can play him as an extra linebacker. Kyle, Avonte Maddox is not doing that because you and I were watching the game together last night. And Avonte Maddox made a nice play at the beginning when he first came in. Then there's the play where he absolutely tries to lay the thunder down on Jake Ferguson and doesn't do anything. And it's like, cool, you were there. You stopped him from picking up any yards. But your biggest hit, Ferguson barely even felt.
Yeah.
He's just too small to do what Brian Branch is doing.
It's like, and he's not a safety. He was a quarterback.
He
was a corner
nickel
for all of his career, and then it's just like now we kind of need you to we're putting you in this box we need you to be.
There's nobody there to go deliver the strong safety blow that Brian Branch has been able to do. And honestly, there's not really many players in the NFL that could come in and replace what Brian Branch does. Other than Kyle Hamilton, is there really anybody that comes to mind that's
Right, no, it's those two guys.
It's those two guys, and I guess you can throw Buda Baker in there to some extent too, but I feel like Branch and Kyle Hamilton were levitating above everybody else this season when Branch was healthy and not getting flags. Or when he wasn't suspended. But now that he's out, it's like, oh my God, they're going to have to find a different way to help the run defense. Because one thing that without a doubt is going to take a little bit of a hit is the run defense. And luckily, Jack Campbell's been so great this season and the linebackers in general to where it's rare that a running back picks up more than 4 or 5 yards on a play. But in the rare chance that they do, Brian Branch was usually there to deliver a pretty big hit, or he was part of the reason that it only did go for 3 yards because he's already at the line of scrimmage. They don't have a replacement for that guy, unfortunately.
Which is pretty scary, and it does not help, especially when your one backup that honestly has been pretty good, since he has had to play a ton with Kirby Joseph being out and Thomas Harper.
Also down.
I haven't gotten an update on him, but I can't imagine it's good,
That was concussion protocol.
Right,
so the fact that it's 10 days long, long rest is
hopefully
you're hopeful for it, but I don't know. There's no guarantees with the concussion protocol stuff.
You never really know.
989-837-6125. Your biggest takeaway from this Detroit Lions team: are they back in the Super Bowl window? Are you ready to plant your flag and say, you know what, I'm back. This team's winning the Super Bowl. And obviously, we're gonna have our answer to that next week. If they can beat the Rams, well, yeah, anything's back on the table. But are you willing to sit here right now, heading into that game, saying, no, you know what, I do believe that in this Lions team to win the Super Bowl? Let us know, 989-837-6125. Higher Standard Automotive, the name says it all. Honest, reliable auto repair done the right way the first time. Locally owned and operated, serving Midland with expert service and small-town integrity. From oil changes and brake jobs to diagnostics and major repairs, they handle it with precision and care. ASE-certified techs, fair pricing, and commitment to doing things the right way the first time, because your car deserves better than just good enough. Drive with confidence. Choose Higher Standard Automotive.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Leaky gutters?
No problem.
Shabby shingles?
We got this.
Remodeling?
Yup, that too.
Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair, your roof, gutter, and remodeling experts.
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Call my dad, 989-529-8167.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitts. This month's recipient is Braden Schwartzkampf from Calvary Baptist Academy. With a 3.7 GPA, Braden is a two-sport athlete playing basketball and soccer. He owns a lawn business. He's in the choir, mock election, and wants to be a teacher for his career. Braden gained experience with Teachers for Tomorrow.
I started to teach math and tutor kids in that class who were struggling. And then for grammar, I just went around doing spell checks, and I think I taught the class 4 or 5 times. I really enjoyed being able to help the kids out and just impact their life in a way. It was a really cool experience.
Next fall, Braden will continue his academic and athletic career studying and playing basketball at Spring Harbor College. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
We got a game, boys!
This week on Sunday Night Football.
Two teams looking to stay in the hunt for a playoff spot, Houston Texans and Kansas City Chiefs. It's a rematch of the AFC divisional round from a year ago. This year it's going to be a fight for either to make the postseason. Coverage is 7:30 Sunday night, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midlands.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mid is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of. It's hot! Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
He got it! That's 3 of them!
The Great Lakes Bay region's home for Spartans basketball.
How about a big noon tip-off? Saturday, MSU hosts the Duke Blue Devils at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts at 11 a.m., presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chatting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mid.
The Mid. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mid is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mid, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989-837-6125). We will work our way back to the Detroit Lions. We do want to squeak this in this 10 o'clock hour because there's no time for it in the 11 o'clock hour. It is our trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, you know the drill on Fridays. We're going back and forth. It's a draft, but it's not really a draft with anything on the line. What are we the most excited about going into this NFL slate on Sunday? Like, what are we going to be looking for? What are we writing down in the notepad? You kick us off here. You get the first pick. Now that a stress-free Sunday without the Lions. I love this, by the way. When the Lions are playing on a Monday or Thursday or even Sunday night and you just get to watch football, it's the best.
Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. Okay, there's a good amount of things to discuss here as far as what to pick. Obviously, you can either go with matchups, you can go specific player storylines, whatever you want to do. I am going to go with a matchup here because it affects the Lions so much. Bears-Packers, man. What's going to happen? Like, will the Bears actually beat the Packers? Will they keep it close? A 6.5-point spread for the best team in the NFC? Like, they just did it last week against the Eagles. Are they gonna get over that Packers odd little thing they can't get over? Like, I'm just so excited to watch this game. I don't know who I'm rooting for. I think best case scenario, like I displayed earlier, is that these two teams split. Who wins the first one, I don't really know if that matters, but I just kind of want to see what happens.
I'm in the camp that I want the Bears to sweep the Packers. At this point, I'll just take the division. It hurts my soul that Ben Johnson go ahead and take the North, and the Lions will squeak into the playoffs as a wild card, which means Green Bay will not be making the playoffs. I think that's the Lions' best avenue. Green Bay still 6.5-point favorites. The ironic part is whoever wins this game is kind of in prime position to either win the NFC 1 seed or win the division. Whoever loses this game is in serious danger of like, oh, your playoff hopes are, you went from first place to not even in the playoffs if the Bears lose this game rather quickly. Like, if the Bears end up at 9-4, all of a sudden the Lions jump them after they were just in first.
The Lions would be
or they'd be one game out. Yeah.
But still, like.
Yeah, they could go from first to out of the playoffs really fast.
Exactly. So that's why I think it's the first pick, just because there's a lot of different outcomes from this game.
Okay, I'll take a game with very, very similar implications, but it's just happening out in the AFC. Give me the Colts and the Jaguars, man. Who's going to emerge as the top team in the AFC South after these two teams play for the first time this season somehow? So Colts had the incredible start. I guess Jacksonville did too, but they had a little bit of a lull. Now it feels like the Colts are in a lull. They haven't won in the United States since before Halloween. And Jonathan Taylor's gone cold. Daniel Jones has gone cold. This Jaguars team has been pretty frisky. So whoever wins this game in prime position to win that division, and in doing so, win or host a playoff game as well. The Texans, I believe, are still lively if they can win on Sunday night. But I'll take this Colts-Jaguars matchup for now.
Okay. Man, I have two things I really want to pick here, so I hope you don't pick the other one. They kind of relate to each other, but I think my pick is going to be, it is a matchup-based one, but it's mainly just about the one team. Do the Bengals, actually still have a chance to win their division? That's what I'm going to pick, because if they win this game against the Bills, which I'm not predicting them to, I think I actually picked Bills -5.5 in spread picks. If they get by this game with the Bills, all of a sudden they're playing the Ravens again next week, which they just handled them last week, and it's a division game, so it's honestly in favor for them to play that. Then they go Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns, their last 3 games of the year.
Yeah.
Like, if they can win this game against the Bills, it's like, wait, do they actually have a chance to go 9-8 and win the division? So that's what I'm going to pick right here. If they can show some signs of life defensively and Burrow just looks like Burrow, they are undefeated when he's played this season. So I don't know. That's going to be my pick.
I was going to take this game for a completely different reason, and it was going to be, can Josh Allen get himself back into the MVP discussion?
Ooh, that's good.
Because I think it's over. It's a two-man race, but I don't know. What if Josh Allen has 5 total touchdowns, 6 total touchdowns against this crappy Bengals defense, and all of a sudden they're 9-4, can go on a little bit of a run. They play the Patriots next week, chance to knock, Drake May down in the MVP poll a little bit. That's where I would have gone with that, but I like the fact that you picked the Bengals season still being alive.
I do think that Allen is not out of the MVP race, by the way. I just don't think he is. I don't think you can ever count him out.
I will take on, the former discussion of the number 1 and number 2 overall pick. I just think this game's going to be hilarious for a handful of different reasons. The battle of the bottom dwellers. Give me the Browns and give me the Titans. Give me Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders. Can Shedeur Sanders win another game for this Browns team against what
should be able to
the worst team in the NFL, the Tennessee Titans? I would be shocked if the Titans scored 10 points in this game. It's part of the reason I took Cleveland's spread picks at 3. That's all the way up to 4.5 now because I think Vegas and the bettors are kind of aware. Hey, Cam Ward might not score a point here. Why would I bet on the
Titans? Yeah.
There's also a good chance that if Myles Garrett has 4 sacks, which seems like a lot, but not really for him this season, and also it's how much Cam Ward gets sacked on average during a game. There's a chance that Myles Garrett breaks the all-time sacks record in this one. I think he might, so I'll take this game.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, the battle of Cam Ward versus Shedeur, pretty fun. Worst over-under of the season at 33.5. I mean, just truly
so bad.
Hilarious. Speaking of that, by the way, the over-under in the Lions-Cowboys looked like it was about to be cooked early in the game. I mean, just got blown out of the water.
77 points put up.
74,
yeah.
That's crazy. Over 20 points more than it was at. Okay, I'm going to shift to, like I said, the pick that kind of related to that Bengals pick. We're talking about bad football with Titans-Browns. You ready for some bad football in Steelers versus Ravens, baby?
Oh, you mean battle of the first place in the AFC North?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. These two teams always just play crappy football when they play each other. It's always ugly games. No offense ever seems to be able to get it going in this game. Shockingly enough, like both of these teams' offenses, I think, have been better than their defenses this year. I don't know if that's going to matter in this game, but there's just always a stigma to Steelers-Ravens. It truly is one of the better rivalries in the NFL, so I'm excited for that one. I'll go with that.
No rain. This feels like one of those classic games where there's some snow, there's some rain, it's super windy, but it looks like the weather should be fine in Baltimore this weekend. All right, if I'm up now, the good games have already been taken.
I don't know. Have they? I got a good one left.
Well, okay. Do we include Sunday night in this?
Well, yeah.
Okay, then I would have taken this a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's do or die for both of these teams. It's win or go home, similar to how it was yesterday for the Lions and the Cowboys. The winner of that game, season most likely done. Well, if the Chiefs lose this game, Sunday night, they are done. 6-7 would be their record, yes. They would not be able to survive that. The Texans at 7-6, if they lose, they're not going to be able to survive that with one of the teams in their division going to move on to 9-4 since they play each other. I like both of these teams. These are both two teams.
You like the Chiefs?
If I'm in the AFC,
you like Mahomes.
I like Mahomes. If I'm in the AFC though, and I'm a playoff team, do you really want to run into either of these teams? No. These are two of the last teams you want to run into with the Texans defense and the fact that you got the boogeyman on the other side of the field in Patrick Mahomes. So they're going to knock each other out. Somebody's got to end their playoff hopes. This would have been my first overall pick if I knew that Sunday night was available. And it's the Sunday night spot with Tirico and Collinsworth. Come on. He's going to lose his mind.
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, Collinsworth on the Chiefs games is pretty good. Yeah, this was
level.
The pick. To me, I would have just phrased this as like, this is the end of the Chiefs season right here.
Not if they win.
Are the Chiefs not going to make – I mean, even if they win, it's still like a little bit crazy. But I think this is the end of their year, man. I truly do. No way I'm picking the Chiefs again after what they've done to me the last couple weeks. Okay, last pick here. I mean, there's not a lot of good things to choose from. I'm kind of just excited to – so this isn't necessarily a game. This is more so a storyline. The Tennessee Titans are most likely going to end up as the worst team in the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be drafting quarterback. We've seen it in years past where, teams will go quarterback back-to-back years, round one. They're not going to do that. What team is going to be the first? Because there's so many bad teams in the NFL this year. There is a lot of them. What team is going to take quarterback first? Who's going to be the first rookie QB off the board to what team? You have the Saints in action. Are they going to take a QB? The Raiders playing this week. Are they going to take a QB? Are the Cleveland Browns going to take a QB? Or are they just going to rock with Shedeur Sanders next year? Like the Arizona Cardinals, they're bad. I just think kind of watching all these bad teams as far as now that we're at the end of the year, we're starting to shape out the draft order and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Hey, do you want to go to Cleveland this weekend and go to this game for $9?
Wait, I have to pay J.J. McCarthy money to go to this game?
The tickets are $9 to go to this game.
That's unreal.
Can you imagine if there was tickets for $9 to go to Ford Field?
I would leave.
You got to pay $400 to get in there now.
I would leave right now.
$9 to get into this Browns game on Sunday. That's ridiculous, man. That's okay.
You get to watch Shedeur. I'd pay way more.
You make a good point. All right. 989-837-6125. 11 o'clock hour on the way. Your biggest takeaway from this Lions game in which they saved their season against the Dallas Cowboys. That's when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
You've known Hard Rock for decades, but Hard Rock Bet is Michigan's newest casino app. And what you see when you sign up is actually what you get.
If you're not up money after 24 hours of playing slots, you'll get up to $1,000 back in casino bonus to play again.
Plus 200 bonus spins on Huff and More Puff. Wins paid in cash, no catch.
Hard Rock Bet Casino, now in Michigan. Roll with us. Offered by Seminole Hard Rock Digital LLC. All rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credits. Must be 21 plus and present in Michigan to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The high school basketball game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
We begin our winter high school sports season on Tuesday night. Two girls varsity hoops powerhouses, the Dow Chargers and the Heritage Hawks, square off. Coverage from Heritage High School starts Tuesday night at 6:50.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shedeur to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, 989-837-6125. Lions saved their playoff hopes yesterday against the Cowboys. I've told you guys who the biggest, my biggest takeaways were Gibbs and Campbell have just solidified themselves as the best players on both offense and defense. But specifically yesterday, who do you think was the MVP? I'll give you the choices of Goff, Gibbs, St. Brown, Hutchinson, and Jack Campbell. But I don't think it's going to be Jared Goff, but can we just take a minute and be like,
yeah,
they put everything on that guy's shoulder yesterday.
He got a game ball.
He did get a game ball.
That's worth something.
Who's the MVP, though?
I don't know, man. It's a lot of good options, a lot of candidates for the MVP. I feel like it's got to be cut to 2, though. Yes, I know Aiden Hutchinson probably had his career or his season high in pressures with 10, at least according to Next Gen Stats. We'll see what PFF says once those come out. Really good game from Hutchinson. That was almost like the comeback player of the year for the game award, if we're doing that whole thing. So I won't give it to Hutchinson. Goff, like you said, I think had a great game, and they leaned on him, which was great, and he stepped up for sure. But you also expect that out of Jared Goff. That's something that we've come accustomed to. So I will not give it to him. St. Brown felt like he deserves at least a shot at this just because of he wasn't supposed to play. He embodies everything that the Lions are. Like Dan Campbell said, where he goes, they go. But it's got to be between Gibbs and Campbell, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be between those two guys. And if Campbell gets the safety, no, I'm just kidding. That's not his fault. I'm giving it to Gibbs, man. It has to be Gibbs. I mean, the fact that he had the impact on the game that he had with, 40 yards rushing? 43 yards rushing?
Yeah.
The impact he had on the game in the receiving game, the touchdowns, the amount of guys he made miss in open space, Deron Bland being truly fooled out there by him on several occasions. I'll give it to Gibbs.
I think you're right. If we're going to break down the definition of value, most valuable player, I think just anytime that guy touches the ball, he is the MVP, and he shows why he is the MVP. To have the luxury of giving him the ball, 19 total touches he had between the receptions and the carries that he had yesterday, it feels like any single one of those times he's capable of going for a touchdown. He did it 3 times of those 19 touches he had yesterday. That is the definition of value. He's just points. You give him the ball and you score points. So I'm going to go with him as the MVP. We got to give St. Brown something, though. Can we just give him, grittiest Lion of all time award or something like that?
He is just the Lion. I mean, he is the Lion award.
Yes.
He's everything that the Lions want and need. He is the captain of this Lions team. He's been here this whole way. He does everything that you want from a leader. So, yeah, he just gets, the Dan Campbell Lions award. That's just what he is.
He was the first guy to get the extension, or him, Goff, and Sewell when they all got it together. He's one of the pillars. He's the definition of a first guy in, last guy to leave, always on the jugs machine, putting in the extra work, setting the standard for what it means to, we talk about this culture so much. Well, what does that actually mean? It means outworking every single person and going into every week with the confidence you have in yourself because you put in the work. That starts and ends with St. Brown. He sets the standard for all the rookies. He sets the standard for even the defensive players. Hey, we are going to work this hard because look at me. I'm the one that got paid. I was the first guy to get paid, and I'm working harder than everybody here. So everybody better be with me or you can get your ass off this team. You're right. He is everything it means to be a Detroit Lion. So I feel bad that we don't give him the MVP with him, in his Isaiah Thomas bag, doing the thing on one ankle today, playing with the sprained ankle. And he looks, 90%? He only had one play where he kind of slipped out of his break. He has to be recognized for that, though. Goff, I don't think wins this MVP, but, man, you could tell yesterday there was a shift in the philosophy of the offense.
Yeah.
Usually, and for the last 3 years and leading up to this point, they have been determined to, hey, we're going to run the football. We want to be a ground and pound team. We'll run the ball to set up the pass. We want to be built in the trenches. You and I have been screaming for weeks. This team's not capable of doing this with that offensive line. I wanted to see them be the 2020 Tampa Bay Bucks, Tom Brady, line it up, getting rid of the ball as fast as possible, use the play action before you even run the ball just to get Goff, out of the pocket a little bit. And that's exactly what they did. He has 35 passing attempts, goes for over 300 yards, doesn't try to do too much, just gets the ball in the hands of his playmakers. And even with Laporta down, even with Brock Wright down, he's got playmakers in St. Brown and Gibbs. and Jameson Williams, who also deserves a ton of credit for yesterday for how well-rounded of a player he's become.
Well, I think like when we do talk about it sucks not to give the MVP to St. Brown or Goff because of the way that, they just kind of came through when we've been calling for it and just the way that they did it. That's why Dan Campbell those are the first two guys that he acknowledges in the locker room, The first, Jahmyr Gibbs has this unreal game, obviously. It was super great. Jack Campbell was awesome on defense. Aiden Hutchinson was everywhere. The first two guys that he acknowledges are St. Brown and Goff, just because of just what they put on display as far as setting an example.
Yeah.
Not setting an example, setting the standard is what St. Brown did. That is what the standard is for this team. And then Jared Goff, obviously, like you said, just his ability to kind of change the way that they needed him to for this game and hopefully for the rest of the season as well. In Dan Campbell's eyes, those guys are the MVPs, which to me that's just as important as us picking one.
Jack Campbell certainly deserves a mention here. I think I've made my stance on this pretty clear. I think he's now the best player on the defense. He's taken that role away from Aiden Hutchinson, despite Aiden Hutchinson playing obviously the much more impactful position.
And he can take it back at any time, by the way.
Sure,
one big game from him.
But Jack, I don't know if he can take it back this season, to be quite honest. Jack Campbell's well on his way to a first-team All-Pro season. He's the best linebacker in football. Aiden Hutchinson is probably at best the fourth best edge rusher behind Micah and Myles Garrett. I'd put Will Anderson up there, honestly. Nick Bonino, you got the argument. So, there are a few guys ahead of Aiden Hutchinson. Nobody's playing better football right now than Jack Campbell at the linebacker position. Nobody. And we saw that yesterday. Should have had a safety. I'm glad that was on prime time, so everyone saw that it should have been a safety.
Yep.
All the vote getters. Yeah, had the forced fumble, comes in and punches it right out of Jake Ferguson's arms. He's just been making plays over and over and over again. 12 tackles yesterday. I don't really care about the tackle total, but with him, he's just always at the point of the ball. He's always there and picking up 3 yards.
Literally every run play, he is in on it, yeah.
And if he's not in on it, he forced the guy to go somewhere else and run into a different Lions defender, which a lot of the times was Brian Branch, and now they're without Brian Branch for the rest of the season, unfortunately.
Yeah. Hey, the one dude, though, that I think, not the MVP, but once again, we've done over 2 hours of a show now, really haven't talked about it much at all.
Master Bates?
No, but that's a good one as well.
Even though he got another blocked kick?
He did, but that's
fourth
not
of the year, third of the year?
Yeah, let's do a little quick tangent on that. Why can't we get a block kick? Everybody gets block kicks, dude. The whole league, it's like the trend of 2025 in the NFL. The amount of blocked kicks there has been is crazy.
Hey, man, I'm just glad the return game was good yesterday.
Yeah, you're right. Special teams was overall good, yes.
Tom
Against
Kennedy.
a really good special teams unit in Dallas.
Shout out Tom Kennedy.
But, yeah, Tom Kennedy was great, setting up a lot of good drives. Al-Qadim Muhammad had 3 sacks, dude.
Oh, yeah.
What a comeback from him, especially a guy who has lost a lot of run with Marcus Davenport returning. Just came up clutch time after time. Won a lot of his one-on-ones. Yeah, I know the starting tackles yesterday for Dallas both are not high-level tackles by any means. They had a backup and just a below-average starter anyways out there. But still, what, is Al-Qadim Muhammad not a below-average edge rusher? He's a guy that no one
I don't know.
really...
We were talking about him at the beginning of the year he was one of the most underrated guys in the league.
But across the league, non-Lions fans, does anyone know who this guy is?
No.
And he won his one-on-one several times, had 4 QB hits with those 3 sacks. A great game from him.
Did anyone not have a good game? I guess Tristan Colon, because he got taken out of the game. But
I don't
apparently,
know. The combination of him and if they had the confidence to keep throwing him back in, maybe that was just we don't want Miles Frazier. Maybe he's not, energy-wise ready to go to play full drives back-to-back. But what an interesting strategy. I would love to find the data on teams that have done that, just swapping their left guard every drive.
That's one of the craziest things that happened in this game. I think there's 3 absolutely bizarre things that happened in this game, and I want to pick which one is the weirdest thing, the thing that is the most improbable that happened in this game, other than the fact that the Lions just saved their season. Although their playoff odds are still below 50%. They need someone to fall apart here down the stretch. Odds are one of the 5 teams left will, if they just stay the course and pick up 3 wins the rest of the year. 989-837-6125. I'll tell you what the wackiest thing that happened in yesterday's game is and what the Lions need the rest of the way to get into the playoffs when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. Moving Michigan forward since 1925. That's not us, but the Forward Corporation. Locally owned and family operated for nearly a century, serving communities across mid-Michigan. From convenience stores and fuel to restaurants and beyond, Forward is part of your everyday life. A company built on family values, community support, and commitment to doing things the right way. When you see the name Forward, you know you're keeping it local. Forward Corporation, proud to fuel, feed, and serve Michigan families.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Hi, this is Cal Yeiter with Yeiter Insurance Group. This holiday season, peace of mind starts close to home. At Yeiter Insurance Group, your trusted auto owner's insurance agency, you're more than a policy. You're part of the family. Locally owned and deeply rooted in the community, Yeiter treats every customer like a friend. And when you need help, our knowledgeable staff is there for one-on-one consultation to make sure you have the auto owner's coverage that fits your life. As you gather with those who matter most, choose protection from people who genuinely care. Yeiter Insurance Group, your friends in the insurance business.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitts. This month's recipient is Braden Schwartzkampf from Calvary Baptist Academy. With a 3.7 GPA, Braden is a two-sport athlete playing basketball and soccer. He owns a lawn business. He's in the choir, mock election, and wants to be a teacher for his career. Braden gained experience with Teachers for Tomorrow.
I started to teach math and tutor kids in that class who were struggling. And then for grammar, I just went around doing spell checks, and I think I taught the class 4 or 5 times. I really enjoyed being able to help the kids out and just impact their life in a way. It was a really cool experience.
Next fall, Braden will continue his academic and athletic career studying and playing basketball at Spring Harbor College. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
This winter, the hottest action in Midland isn't on a screen. It's on the court at the Dow Tennis Classic, February 15th through the 22nd. The lights, the speed, the perfect hush just before a match-winning shot. It's all back, and it's more electrifying than ever. Come watch world-class athletes battle for every point, every set, every moment, right here in your own backyard. It's fast, it's fierce, and it is unforgettable. Tickets are on sale now. Visit DowTennisClassic.com. Be there February 15th to the 22nd for the Dow Tennis Classic.
The high school basketball game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
We begin our winter high school sports season on Tuesday night. 2 girls varsity hoops powerhouses, the Dow Chargers and the Heritage Hawks, square off. Coverage from Heritage High School starts Tuesday night at 6:50.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Pistons are real contenders to win the Eastern Conference if they make a trade, and are going to be the third 60-win team in franchise history. I think the inevitable collision between Dusty May, Tom Izzo, Michigan, and Michigan State is going to be one of the most epic clashes we see in college basketball all season long. I think if the Tigers decide to trade Tarek Skubal, I'm not going to be a fan of them anymore. And I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should tune into the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, the craziest thing that happened in last night's Lions game, I'll give you 3 different options. The first of them being an actual strategy for the Lions to have 2 different left guards play that just like violates every rule that you could ever think of when it comes to offensive line chemistry, right? But they rotated in Tristan Colon and their rookie Miles Frazier, who started practicing 30 days ago.
Yeah.
For the first time, because he was on the IR for all of training camp.
And is a 6th-round pick, a 5th-round pick.
6th-round pick who just started practicing for the first time in his NFL life 30 days ago and gets thrown into the biggest game of the season. The fact that, everything we've ever learned about an offensive line, at least I thought, is they got to play together. They got to learn to communicate with each other, be in sync. You want as much consistency as possible. And Dan Campbell and the Lions were rotating guys. They were rotating those two players on a drive-to-drive basis. That's insane to me.
Well, and quickly to that point, you and I talked about this before the game. Not only was it the biggest game of the season for Frazier to be put in that spot, hey, the Lions' biggest weak point this season is the position you're going to play, and the Cowboys' most improved spot of their game is the guys going against your position. Truly just a wild spot to put him in.
And you and I, at 8:05 when we found out Tristan Colon was technically getting the start, we looked at each other and said, false start, plus 140 or minus
No,
120
for Frazier,
today.
once we saw that he was playing, yeah.
Yeah, once Frazier came in, we were like, false start for him.
Yeah.
At any point today, plus 120.
Got
He's
one on,
taking
his
it.
second drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
that
knew
was
that
obvious.
was possible.
That was obvious.
I'll give you that as the craziest thing to happen. I'll give you the safety. Just, I have no explanation. I'm supposed to know ball. I'm supposed to sit here and explain to you what happened, explain the rules. I have zero idea how that's not ruled a safety to this very moment. I'm going to die in my grave. My tombstone will say, Week 14, 2025, Jack Campbell should have had a safety. I don't understand the rule. I don't understand how anyone can watch a football game and say that that's not a safety. The common sense police just needs to common sense Sam just needs to be on standby during these Amazon Prime games. Just cut to common sense Sam in his living room on the couch coming at you live from Mobile, Alabama. Just to tell me what you think. Hey, Sam, any chance this isn't a safety? No, he's being tackled in the end zone, and by the time he hits the ground, he's 4 yards into the end zone. Somehow the refs not only don't rule it a safety, well, they do, and then they overturn it. I just, it's crazy to me to this day, to this second. And then the last one, how about James Houston just strictly beating Penei Sewell on a one-on-one rep? That just about made me lose my mind. I had to rewind the TV and made sure I saw that right.
On 3rd down, too, right?
And the Lions had to settle for a field goal on their opening drive in the red zone. I was appalled.
That's got to be the craziest one, right?
James Houston, of all people, the guy that the Lions waived, beat Penei Sewell on a one-on-one rep to end the drive. Those three options. What's the craziest thing?
How about I pick a 4th option, and it's that Brandon Aubrey hit 3 55-plus yard field goals, first guy in NFL history to do
that. That guy's crazy.
I mean,
that guy's nuts.
Brandon Aubrey truly is. The amount of discussions that I have had about Brandon Aubrey in the last 18 hours is just, that guy is unbelievable. Is he a top 20 player in the NFL?
He might be. I mean, with the new kickoff rules, they need 2 first downs. They need 2 first downs, and they're going to get 3 points.
Yeah.
If they had a good kicker, would you consider Jake Bates a good kicker? I don't we can go through and do the top 10 if you want, but I don't know. However you rank him, I don't think Jake Bates is elite, but I think he's good.
He makes clutch kicks. I think that's the most important part about Bates. Yeah.
If Dallas had Jake Bates,
they'd be a worse team. They'd be way worse. They would have 2 less wins. His WAR, what is his WAR? His win above replacement.
Would it have even been close at halftime?
I mean, that's
would this score even look
they were relying
respectable?
On field goals. That's the thing. Even the one play, right? They're at the 45-yard line, and it's 3rd and 18. And you and I look at each other, and it's like, well, they don't need to just check down to get 5 yards here because Aubrey will hit this, so they might as well just throw it downfield and try to get the first down. They get an incomplete pass, 63-yard field goal. It was like it was nothing. I mean, Aubrey's unreal, man.
We're in a fantasy league right now where the playoffs have started this week, and one of the guys that's in the playoffs has Aubrey.
He had 20 points before the third quarter ended.
He finished with 23 fantasy points, man. I don't think the Dallas would trade him for almost anything. Why? If you're another team and you're here's a 2nd round pick for Brandon Aubrey, Dallas, will you give him to us? Why would they? It's just a position they have filled for the next 10 years, and I know Justin Tucker and Vinatieri have the legacies and have the. This guy's just the GOAT.
Aubrey's going to have the legacy too. He is. He's an older guy. He got off to a late start. He's already 30. But kickers can kick forever.
No, he if we're talking peak of their powers, he's the GOAT kicker. There's nobody better than this guy. So, yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, I'll take it up a notch, Ben. If Jake Bates were to go down with a major leg injury, and it's like, oh, man, Lions need to find their next kicker. The Lions they're going to have what? Maybe let's say they end the season really hot. They have the 27th pick in the draft. If they went to Dallas and said, yo, we'll give you the 27th pick in the draft for Brandon Aubrey, I'm not saying the Lions should do that, but do the Cowboys even accept it?
What's the point?
Why would you get rid of Aubrey?
You're taking a swing on a player you hope is good versus someone who actually changes games with Brandon Aubrey.
It's unreal. We can stop talking about kickers now. I thought that was the craziest moment. Just him.
No, you're right. I'm glad you threw that one in there.
He's a pleasure to watch, man.
I will say the safety.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous. What are we talking about? In what world is that reviewed and not a safety? Apparently the world we live in. I don't know what a safety is anymore then, Kyle. What do you have to be?
Yeah.
3 feet into the end zone for it to even count?
I was even uneducated on the rule where my understanding of it was that the player had to be completely in the end zone when impacted for it to be a safety. So off first rip, I was like, I don't think it's a safety because a little bit of him was out.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah.
Either way, if you thought that was the rule, just kind of a dumb rule. Like, how can we not just watch a thing or watch the play happen and just say, you know what, like, that's a safety or it's not? I feel like it's usually pretty obvious. Why do we have to go down to the technicality of what the rule book says? That was clearly a safety that happened yesterday. You know?
Yeah. I think the best correlation that I've heard is that if that was the flip side and it's on the 1 yard line going into the end zone and you are tackled into the end zone when the ball was completely not in before you got tackled in, it would be a touchdown.
That's always been my thing. If you end up in the end zone,
right.
It should be a safety. And I get the forward progress thing. So, like,
yeah, because that's how it works in the rest of the plays in the middle of the field.
So if you're completely out of the end zone and then end up fine, that you can be down at the 1. Dak Prescott was in the end zone.
Yeah.
It was undebatable. It wasn't even an argument. So the fact that it got overturned, like, seriously, somebody go I know the refs usually have to do this. It's not available to the media, but, like, some people get to ask them questions. Somebody's got to get to the bottom. Pablo Torre, where are you? What was this yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there was so many different NFL people on social media. Orlovsky was talking a lot about the officials on social media. Just a lot of people. And like we talked about this earlier, it wasn't just all anti-Lions. Like, there was some stuff that went against the Cowboys that was like, wait, what? Like, low-key, the PI at the end of the game on Jake Ferguson, the OPI, kind of a crazy play. We'll take that for sure. But the safety thing is, yeah, that was ridiculous. I could not – how could you watch that replay and New York or whoever – because I think that's the replays. One thing we do have to cut the officials a little bit of – or give them a little bit of slack is when they do go to replay like that, they're being told what the call is. They're not the ones actually making it. And so for New York to see that replay and be like, yeah, no, that ball's completely out. That's unreal.
Well, how about the Dak Prescott fumble versus not fumble? How about the Jared Goff when he just threw the ball straight forward and they were like, no, that actually got tipped out into fumbles. Like, what are we doing?
I know they have to do the whole thing where it's like, oh, we have to let it play out because if it actually is a fumble, then we just took away a touchdown from the defense. How is not one single official see that Jared Goff clearly threw that ball? Like, why?
You and I saw it on the couch.
Not one guy saw that and was like, dude, why are we even letting this play out? It's obviously incomplete. Like, that one was unreal.
And then the Dak Prescott backwards pass, too. There was the false start the offsides that Jared Goff got everyone on the D-line to jump and nobody call anything. I thought that was one of the worst officiating games I've seen all season long.
You know what it's all chalked up to? Thursday night football.
It's weird stuff.
It's just weird stuff happens on Thursday Night Football.
I feel like Amazon worked out a deal with the NFL where they're just allowed to write whatever. Like, they get handed a pen and a paper, and they write out however they want the game to go. And Amazon Prime's like, you know what? Today we want the refs to just be egregiously bad. We want them to not get a singular call right. We want both fan bases to be irate.
Oh, wait, Raiders-Broncos when the Broncos should destroy them? Let's have this be the worst football game ever.
And then they hand it into Roger Goodell, and he reads it, and he's like, are you serious? Like, this is what you want us to do?
Oh,
and
Amazon's
like,
paying all this money. You have to do it. Sorry.
Amazon's like, I'm sorry. Do you want us to take away the billions of dollars we're giving you? And Goodell's like, oh. That's my conspiracy theory behind whatever the hell the Thursday night
all the
slot
Thursday
is.
night games are good though. Like, they always are at least close.
Or they're terrible.
But if they're terrible, they're close.
Yes.
There is not blowouts on Thursday night. That's the fun part.
And this would have been the 1 week where it was a weird exception because it's the full 7-day rest, but still weird.
Nope.
Still weird. Stay secure, stay connected, and stay ahead with Link Technologies, your local IT experts in Midland. From small businesses to large operations, they provide custom tech solutions that actually make your life a little bit easier. Specializing in networking, cybersecurity, cloud services, and managed IT support all under one roof. I'm talking about fast, reliable service with real people that speak your language. Whether you're upgrading, protecting, troubleshooting, Link Technologies keeps your systems running smooth. Visit linkedtechsolutions.com and see how they can help your business work smarter, not harder.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
He got it! That's 3 of them!
The Great Lakes Bay Region's home for Spartans basketball.
How about a big noon tip-off? Saturday, MSU hosts the Duke Blue Devils at the Breslin Center. Coverage starts at 11 a.m., presented by Weiss Equipment.
Every MSU game all season long.
It's so fun to hear people chanting.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mid Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. Mm-hmm. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Yeah. Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mid. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while, one where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. Man, we've been talking Lions for an hour, 2.5 hours. We're going to take Quick timeout. We'll come right back. We'll do our 2 traditions to close every show. First, we got to do our lock of the day. Wait, I'm so ahead.
I was like,
we gotta hit the news. We gotta hit the news. That's later. The lock of the day is later. Let's hit the news.
The Mets Morning Catch.
That was weird.
I get it. Lions victory.
Victory Friday.
We haven't had one of these yet this year. So it's kind of an odd day. I get it.
Chalk it up to the Victory Friday.
It's all right. Let's hit the news. As Ben mentioned, we got a little bit of news kind of coming during the show today because this was expected to happen, but it finally was officially announced. Michigan State Athletics has partnered with the owner of the company Acrisure. If you know Acrisure, they obviously own the naming rights to the Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium, Acrisure Stadium. Greg Williams, who is a native of East Lansing, and his wife Dawn Williams are funding $400 million to Michigan State Athletics. It's all a part of this brand new Sparta Foundation that we discussed yesterday. That's like $1 billion thing. Greg and Dawn Williams are going to be the main contributors to that fund. Whether this goes to the new stadium, whether this goes to the NIL Foundation, nonetheless, this is really good stuff from both them and obviously Jay Batt and the athletic department.
Yeah, no, I love it. I don't know why any Michigan State fan shouldn't be extremely excited about the state of the athletic program. Obviously, the football season was not as bright as you wanted it to be.
They're kind of on a heater right now.
Jay Batt is, just look at the track history, guys. Look at the track record. Where he shows up, programs make a ton of money, and it usually translates to winning. And you look where he left, Georgia Tech, thriving. Bama, the first team to really capitalize on the NIL stuff. Great track record. This seems to be a great first step in the right direction.
Yeah, this is very exciting stuff for the Michigan State Spartans. So shout out to Jay Batt and shout out to Greg and Don. We're about to get Acrisure Stadium 2.0 maybe.
Dude, they cannot sell the rights to Spartan Stadium. Spartan Stadium's just an elite name.
Yeah, it
rolls off the tongue.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of basic, right? But it's
good.
Sure, it's pretty
better
good.
than it being named something. Michigan Stadium, come on.
That's not called Michigan Stadium. It's the Big House.
No, but it's technically called Michigan Stadium.
Well, of course it is, but it's the Big House, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny if it was Acrisure Stadium 2, like it's a movie. Anyways.
Movie.
Anyways, let's do more news around the NFL. The Ravens do believe that Lamar Jackson, who suffered an ankle injury last week and has kind of been dealing with that throughout the week of practice, will play versus the Steelers this week. Aaron Rodgers also will play for a consecutive week after dealing with that wrist injury. So both QBs are set to go in that top of the AFC North showdown.
I don't know, man. Lamar, I know Lamar's going to play, but this guy has been banged up since week 1, it feels like. And he has not looked the same since that Bills game week 1, Sunday night.
Bring back Cooper Rush, you're saying?
No, I'm not saying bring back Cooper Rush. I'm just saying, man, you know how all week going into the Cowboys game, we were saying, I don't know, this Lions season might be over. Even if the Ravens win this game, it's is anyone feeling optimistic about what the Ravens offense looks like right now? Because they lost their superpower. Lamar does not have his stuff this year.
I thought last week was the week for them to do it. The Bengals are the worst defense in the league. One of the worst defenses in NFL history. They put up 14 points on them.
Yeah.
If there was a week to do it, it was last week. And I guess you get another chance this week with the Steelers, but
better defense than the Bengals.
And we just talked about it, how these games are always sloppy. So it's it's probably not the week to do it this week. So, yeah, odd stuff for the Ravens lately.
All year.
Right. But I just once you got but it's weird because they're winning, though. That's the weird part.
Well, they played a bunch of bad teams.
Yeah, but Lamar's back. They've been winning games. You wouldn't think that we'd have all these question marks about them,
No, but if you, this is almost like the college football thing we were talking about yesterday. If you're super result-oriented, then yeah, you wouldn't think anything's wrong. But anyone who's sitting down and watching, maybe you notice it on Red Zone. I'm more of a quad box guy. If you have the Ravens in the quad box, Lamar Jackson has not looked the same the whole year since he came back.
But at the end of the day, you probably still think they're going to win the division, right? You just probably chalk it up to them.
Yeah.
They're minus 190 to win it, so that's the funniest part. More NFL news. Injury-wise, Eagles' Jalen Carter is going to be out for Monday Night Football after a shoulder procedure. So Justin Herbert, who's been banged up, sounds like he's going to play. It's going to be a little bit easier on him, but no Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I liked that. I came out a couple days or a couple hours after we did our spread picks, and I took the Chargers. You took the Eagles. Makes me feel a little bit better about it.
I'm already 1-0 up against you, so
I know.
Don't want to hear it.
Don't
want to hear it. Anyways, last NFL thing, and then we'll go to some college football news. A lot to talk about with college football this weekend. The big thing, though, in the NFL, Darius Slay, who was waived by the Steelers. Sounded like, I mean, it didn't sound like, but we just kind of speculated that, oh, the Lions might show some interest. Well, the Bills claimed him, and he's just like, I'm good. He's not going to the Bills. He will not report to them, and he's mulling his NFL future, whether or not he actually wants to continue to play. I mean, to me, this thinks he's probably just going to be done, right? Why would you not want to go to the Bills?
That's what I'm confused about. Unless he was like parted ways and thinking like, I really want to go back to Detroit, and then he found out Detroit didn't claim him. Now he's like, oh, this wasn't really what I wanted to do.
Or maybe he wants to go back to Philly. I know Philly is a team that showed interest in bringing him back.
I don't know, man. This one's kind of weird.
Are you allowed to do this? When you get claimed, aren't you just like on that team?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
This is a weird one.
It is a weird one. So we'll continue to monitor Slay's. But I know a lot of people were like, oh, how come the Lions didn't claim Slay? Maybe Brad Holmes kind of knew what he was getting into then if Slay is just not going to play for anybody. So, okay, let's kick it over to college football because, wow, a big weekend this weekend in college football. We're going to give you the times for the championship games. But before we do that, a little bit of news in college football. Penn State, man, they've been all over the place with their coaching search. It sounds like they are honed in on Iowa State's Matt Campbell to be their next head coach because, man, this has just been an odd couple of weeks as far as figuring out who their coach is going to be. But it seems like Campbell might be the guy for Penn State now. We'll find out.
It took them long enough. They're the first team to fire their coach and the last team to bring a guy in. You know, we floated
Still
around.
haven't hired him, though, by the way. They just want him.
We floated around the idea of, Michigan moving on from Sharon Moore. This is a prime example of why they can't. Like, it's too late. Like, Sharon Moore's going to be here next season.
Right.
You got to fire your coach well before the end of the season if you actually want to, like, have a real candidacy for coaching head jobs. And you also, what I've learned in the last week? You need to have a plan. You can't just fire your coach without an actual successor plan.
And you would have thought they had one.
You would have thought they had one. They go on their little losing streak. They fire their coach. They think they can just hire anybody. They end up hiring nobody because this Jimmy Sexton guy was messing with them, the college football Scott Boras, with all the coaches. And look what Jay Batt did. Like, there's a reason they didn't fire Jonathan Smith is because they had Pat Fitzgerald the whole time. So what was the point of just firing Smith early?
Right.
They had their successor, and the second they moved on from Smith, it was like, okay, here comes Pat Fitzgerald. So I think it's more important to just find your next head coach than it is to fire the one that you have right now. You got to have a plan. Penn State's the prime example of what not to do.
And maybe their plan was to land Alabama's Kalen DeBoer. He was asked about this yesterday at the SEC Championship kind of media day, asked about the rumor of the interest of him going to Penn State, and he basically shut that all down. He said there was never any link to Penn State, never been any conversation, there was never any interest from my side, so I'm glad that I can put that to bed right now. Don't know how true that is, obviously, but
you see Central Michigan has a better recruiting class than Penn State in just about
so
every
does the entire country.
Yeah,
exactly.
Really bad stuff.
Really, yeah, it's a tough spot right now for Penn State. Last thing of news: Kansas State, their head coach is going to retire from football, so we're going to age ourselves here, Ben. Former Kansas State quarterback Colin Klein is going to be the head coach of the Wildcats on a 5-year deal. I mean, this is one of those moments where, people that are older than us listening to this show are going to find this cringy, but, like, this kind of stuff makes me feel old, man. I remember watching Colin Klein when I was in, like, middle school be the quarterback at Kansas State. Now he's the head coach?
Yeah. That's a weird one.
It is.
I don't like when, I check the age of some of these guys being drafted.
Like when Jahmyr Gibbs is the same age as you.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah, that one's a little tough. Okay, let's talk about the championship games this weekend because we have a couple of them tonight that do actually matter.
Yes.
First off, Troy and James Madison is at 7. JMU really should handle business, and if Duke beats Virginia, then they'll get in. They're 24-point favorites tonight in the Sun Belt Championship, so they should take care of business there. But the big one that is on tonight at 8, North Texas versus Tulane. Both of these teams are ranked. Tulane is 2.5-point favorites, so this is a big game for both of them. The winner of this game will make the college football playoffs, so that's very exciting.
You said that one's at 8?
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the American Championship game. This weekend, though, Saturday, here's the order of championship games in the Power 4. BYU, Texas Tech, that kicks things off at noon. Big implications there if BYU is able to beat Texas Tech because now the rumor is like, well, BYU should just make the playoff no matter what because
no.
they have the extra game. What, Oregon doesn't have to play an extra game. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss.
But they're not in right now. Why would a loss help them? They're not even in right now.
I'm just saying, man. That's the argument that some people are making. Like
That's the argument BYU is
They
making.
shouldn't move down a spot, essentially, if they lose this game. They should just stay at 11.
But even if they are 11, that's on the outside looking in because we got to put two more conference winners in there for some reason.
Right. Yeah, it's
they're winning in if they lose or not. I think it's that simple for them.
Correct. Texas Tech though probably in no matter what. Georgia, Alabama, that game's at 4, SEC championship game. Just like kind of with Texas Tech, even if Bama loses, they should not be punished for having to play in the SEC championship game. Plus, the SEC would riot if that happened.
I think the only way that Alabama misses the playoffs is if they lose by like 3 scores, which seems very unlikely.
I agree. They always play this game tight. Georgia, 2.5-point favorites. The big one, number 1 versus number 2 at 8. Ohio State versus Indiana. The Buckeyes are 4-point favorites. And at the same time as this game is Duke, Virginia, that no one will be watching, even though Virginia's only 4-point favorites. So, like, Duke could for sure just win and mess everything up.
If Duke wins, James Madison gets in.
Yes.
If Virginia wins they'll be in.
Either way, we have
Either way,
Virginia
there should not be why is Texas not in over those
neither
two
of those
schools?
Virginia-based teams need to be in the college football playoff. That's for sure.
There's 0 people out there that believe those teams are better than Texas. So what are we doing?
And I also think that championship weekend is starting to lose its lore. That's a whole nother debate, by the way, topic that we can maybe get into sometime next week. But
nothing beat when there was 5 games on.
What's the point of Indiana and Ohio State playing this game? Truly, I mean, I hate to say it.
It's just an incredible game.
I hate to say it.
But you're right.
What's the point of either of them playing? How come Oregon, who did not make the Big Ten championship game, gets a bye week ahead of the college football playoff, and these two teams got to play in a truly pointless game?
Well, the bye week still I don't know.
They're both going to get byes.
They're both going to get byes, but like I don't know. I think in the case of Oregon, you go so long without playing, it gets kind of weird. They're going to go like a month without playing.
Yeah, but they're not going to get a bye. Those early games happen pretty soon.
Well, Oregon might get a bye if Alabama wins.
Good point. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I just think that the way that this is now formatted is it makes the teams playing in the championship games, like it hurts them almost. Unless it's like a win and you get in, like Virginia.
Nothing beat championship weekend when the Pac-12 still existed and there were 5 championships being played and 4 playoff spots in the line.
Yep.
Every game mattered. And we lost that.
Yes, we did.
And now we have James Madison fighting for a playoff spot tonight.
At the Dukes.
Outrageous. All right, 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Yiter Insurance. Life happens oh so fast. And at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people that you can actually talk to. Yiter Insurance Group, they'll be there when you need them since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
You've known Hard Rock for decades, but Hard Rock Bet is Michigan's newest casino app. And what you see when you sign up is actually what you get.
If you're not up money after 24 hours of playing slots, you'll get up to $1,000 back in casino bonus to play again.
Plus 200 bonus spins on Huff and More Puff. Wins paid in cash, no catch.
Hard Rock Bet Casino, now in Michigan. Roll with us. Offered by Seminole Hard Rock Digital LLC. All rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credits. Must be 21 plus and present in Michigan to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Let's go! Get him going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
It's right here.
Make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
A battle of 8 and 4 teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and LA Chargers on M&F. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mint. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mint is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mint and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mint. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mint for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mint is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mint, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mint.
All right, 989-837-6125. Welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mint. We've got two traditions to close out every show. The first of those is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
So yesterday we had CeeDee Lamb score a touchdown. That did not happen.
Did not happen.
It should have happened. If he would have stayed healthy, I think he probably would have.
I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch, right? Not enough for us to
He was
wipe
cooking.
it. Not enough for us to wipe it off as
no. I'm not asking for that.
I was
I'm just saying.
I was just confirming that wasn't what you were doing.
I'm just saying, like, the injuries the last couple weeks have really affected Lock of the Day in ways that I don't love. All right. So if yesterday didn't hit, suddenly today is a must win for your boy.
Yeah, haven't hit yet this week.
Yeah, that's bad. But we didn't count Tuesdays.
Right.
So I'm only 0-3.
Haven't had a scoreless week since the first week of October, so it's been about 2 months.
Okay. All right. We really got to lock in today then. Today I'm going with the Pistons spread. Back to the well. This Detroit Pistons team's going up against the Blazers tonight. Your boy will be in attendance. Kyle will be in attendance. Look, there is real buzz that this Portland Trailblazers team is legit. They bring a lot of ferociousness. You know, they bring in an intensity. They're young. They're hungry. They've got a ton of defense. All that works against the teams that you can catch teams off guard against, you know? Every single team that goes up against Portland ends up being surprised. I don't think that's going to happen to the Pistons because the Pistons are the team that is there day in, day out. They're not this veteran team that kind of is coasting through the regular season. They take every single game so seriously, which is why I think they will be able to feed off the Portland Trailblazers in a not like it's like just rolling over them. But I think they'll be able to win handily. The spread is 7.5. I'm taking the Pistons to cover tonight in LCA, especially after a loss.
That's what I was going to say. That's why I'm going to tail this. Coming off of a loss, they got to get a big win here tonight. Especially you got that back-to-back tomorrow. You got to start things off right. I'm with you.
You're tailing. The Pistons 7.5. That is, in fact, our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. The only thing that we have left to do on this Victory Friday, beautiful thing, is our last tradition to close out every show, and that is predicting what Colin Cowherd opens with. Neither of us scored yesterday, did we?
I'm trying to remember what he led with yesterday.
Cowboys. Remember I switched to Giannis?
That's right, yes, because you jumped the gun. Yeah, that's right.
So now it is my turn to go first.
Yep.
The score is
33-28 is still the score. No one scored in a couple of days.
Cold.
But yes, it is your turn to go first.
I'm going to go with the Lions are back. You know, it's got to be this Lions team. It's got to be this Lions team positive. They take their way with the Cowboys last night. The Jerry Jones experiment, it was fun while it lasted, but the Lions put an abrupt end to the Cowboys season. And the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, cruised their way, hopefully back into a playoff spot.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think that's got to be it. I kind of want to do a Cowboys but he's been loving the Cowboys way too much to just out of nowhere kind of pivot and be like, what are the Cowboys doing?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're right with it being a Lions primary lead. Like, wow, they might be back. Jahmyr Gibbs is unreal. The Lions just do things right. I could see a lot of that. So I think I have to completely pivot. I am going to go to LeBron James, Ben.
Oh.
LeBron James' scoring record is done. But the Lakers don't need it's going to be something like that. Austin Reeves, 44 points. They win without Luka.
They're going to call him Magic Johnson.
Yeah, LeBron doesn't even score 10, and because they don't need him to. They're good like this. It's probably wrong. This is more so like a second segment thing for him because obviously Lions-Cowboys playing on Thursday night on prime time, that's a huge game. But I think you just nailed it, so I have to completely pivot, go with LeBron.
I don't mind the LeBron thing. I think on a normal, on any other day of the week that happens, and you got a pretty good chance
This was the biggest LeBron news of the year so far, that this streak ended. So, sure, I'll do that.
All right.
Hey, bless you.
Thank you. I muted my mic, so nobody heard that. But
yeah, but we're on YouTube, actually, so.
I had to sneeze. What can I say?
Yep.
All right, guys. Appreciate everyone for tuning in today. I think I've decided. I don't think there's anything better than a Victory Friday. You just get to start your weekend early. All things are great on Fridays anyway, but you start with a win on a Friday. Friday's just already set in stone. And you got championship weekend this Saturday. You got MSU versus Duke on Saturday at noon. And you get a stress-free Sunday for football. I hope everyone enjoys it, man.
Who do you got in Indiana, Ohio State, by the way? I know we haven't really discussed that too much, but it's 1 versus 2. Who do you got?
From a betting standpoint, I think I'm going to take the Indiana spread. Just because everybody's on Ohio State. That's like a fade the public play.
Right.
I'd be hard-pressed to say I don't think Ohio State's going to win the national championship, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think I'm rocking with Ohio State this week. This is one of those I'm backing the public because I just can't see them losing this game to Indiana. And I think they'll win big.
And cover the 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Or 4 or whatever it's at right now?
I think they win by like a touchdown. Yeah.
Okay. The only team that gets screwed is Notre Dame, right? And that's if BYU wins?
Yeah, BYU wins. Notre Dame is probably done. Yeah, I think so.
You can get some real upset Notre Dame fans. Everybody's got a Notre Dame fan in their life somewhere. Just give that guy a hug.
I don't
BYU
disagree
wins.
that Notre Dame is ranked above Miami. I don't. But if BYU wins, the College Football Committee kind of gets an easy way out, and they just get to kick Notre Dame and Miami both out.
Well, that would be the crazy thing if Texas Tech wins and like everything kind of holds, and then they just take Notre Dame out for Miami just cuz.
Yeah,
that would be ludicrous.
They might do that, but they might do it.
I mean, they did that the week when they flipped to them and Bama for no reason.
Right.
Notre Dame and Bama. So yeah. All right. Before we go, I got to tell you, hey, YouTube, like and subscribe there if you enjoyed today's show. Please go ahead and give us a search on Instagram by searching 100.9 The Minute. TikTok by searching The Ben Bosscher Show, and Facebook to stay up to date on all the latest news, like the Brian Branch injuries done for the season. You guys can get all the latest news on our Facebook page. Stay up to date on all the teams you like. Lions, Tigers, Michigan State, Pistons, Red Wings. We got it all. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.